Hello and welcome back to the 2024 Formula 4 Arabia Gulf Prix of Motor Town here in Kuwait. As always, my name is Aaron Thompson and we will be joined very shortly by Luca Philippe. But before then, I believe we're going to have a quick run down to the pit lane with Marcello Puglisi in just a moment. Here for the second race of the second event in the inaugural season of the championship. I'm joined now by Luca Philippe. How are you doing today, Luca?
Hello everybody. So, last day in Kuwait, which is a shame because I kind of enjoy being here in Kuwait, and we had amazing racing over these last 2 weeks. And today is gonna be, one of those days where everybody will try to put everything together and bring home the best result possible.
Yes, indeed. And race 2 here is a reverse grid by virtue of your second fastest laps of qualifying reversed if you're within 4 seconds of the race leader, which should make things very, very interesting here at the start of this race.
Yes, we are also going to see some different strategies in terms of tires, as some of the guys are going to prioritize the starting position, so potentially having a fresh set for this race or next race, and I would say the guys that have the best starting position for the race 4, which gives the full points, will prioritize that. From this point of view, they have the opportunity to move around all the 2 complete sets, the 8 tires, as they prefer, right to left, also mix the 2 sets if they want. This circuit we have seen that is quite hard on the outside tire, so instead of being like harder, for example, on the rear tires like in Bahrain, is a bit harder on the right side. So you could even decide to have the better right side for each race, and you know that you will be a little bit faster in the left corners to start the race with, but then through the race that evens up during the race distance.
And is that because it's an anti-clockwise circuit, Luca?
Yes, which is a little bit unconventional, but some of the best circuits in the world are anti-clockwise, like this one, like Imola for sure, or Turkey in Istanbul, and then many American circuit, while normally European style is more clockwise. But there isn't like a specific rule, and actually it's just one of those things that you can decide. We also have seen circuits changing clockwise to anti-clockwise in their history. Like Misano is a change that 3 times already in his history. So, but this is nice.
Yeah, it is a fantastic circuit. We've seen a few times before already. And I believe we're going down to Marcello Puglisi now for a quick word with the drivers, who I'm sure are going to say exactly the same thing.
Here we are this morning, ready to go for the first race of the day. That is the second race of this weekend. As you know, the race today will start with the reverse grid of the qualifying.
Hey guys, same small technical issue that we had in the last race. Not to worry though, Luca and I will keep you entertained while everything gets sorted out down on the pre-grid. And I say pre-grid because we have a little bit of a different starting procedures than F1 and other races, Luca. We try to minimize the amount of track time we need to take from the circuit and compact the procedure as much as possible, so we don't go out onto the starting grid and set up the cars there. We actually set up everything and the pre-grid right in front of our pit garages, and then we go straight out from there, sighting lap, formation lap, and that's the start of the race.
Yeah, so from this point of view, it's also a way to have everything done without so much pressure for so long for the drivers, because sometimes when you start putting on the helmet and you are doing the pre-grid in the pits, which everybody has to do, then if you have to stop on the grid, sometimes then you have to stay there for long. Can be hot, can be cold, can be wet, can be dry, can be sometimes also not ideal for engines and stuff. And I don't know, that just raises the pressure, and while having a much shorter and compacted procedure, I think it's more straightforward, especially for these very young guys. And then having 3 races in one day, we also have to maximize our time. So in between races, we can spend time with the drivers in looking at videos and looking at telemetry data, and so they can improve from one race to the other. Just before, we're looking videos like the overtaking from yesterday, the opening laps, so they understand what they can improve in car positioning, and where they can maximize their position. Definitely.
Did you manage to have a look yesterday how Oscar Wertz got up into P2 on that first lap?
He had a very good start, especially the reaction time was very fast. So he has a way to release the clutch which is quite quick, which is quite of a high risk reward. So if it goes well, you have the engine revs dropping, but then you don't have too much wheel spin, and it's very efficient. There is a little bit of a higher risk, but he nailed it, and he did very well. While in front of him, he had Kirill Kuskov, which, on the contrary, he had a very slow start. He had a very slow. He decided to have a slower approach in terms of the clutch, but that desert mostly is reaction time, and when you try to release the clutch a little slower, sometimes it just takes longer for the car to move, and so you see other cars approaching and coming on your side, so then suddenly you just release the clutch, and then you create wheel spin which you didn't want to, and it wasn't ideal for Kirill, and definitely the start has hurt his race and his result.
And what does Kirill need to do differently for this race then?
So Kirill just needs to practice more the start, needs to learn. He comes straight from karting, and also in terms of testing, he doesn't have so much testing in his background. So it's just the feel that he doesn't have yet with the clutch. Maybe some older drivers they do, just because also maybe they have more time to drive also regular cars. So just about once you learn it, you click it, and then it goes.
Yeah, we've seen that already with Kirill. He had a tough weekend last time around, and now he's up in P2 in qualifying, and you know, looking fantastic. But let's have a quick look around the circuit one more time, Luca.
Yeah, we can see from the top. This is a really amazing circuit. Very fast. So we have turn 1 after the start that goes into a chicane 1A, 1B, then a very long straight up to 6th gear, overtaking place here in turn 2, and then we have elevation change in 3, 4, 5 with a compression, very long corners in 6, then a flat out section that goes for a fantastic corner that goes from 12 to 15 in a nice and low arc on the right hand side, and then 18, 19 really difficult high-speed corners that leads in the last one, which is an overtaking place also. 5.6 kilometer, like we always said, is an amazing circuit. All the drivers are super excited, super happy. Since the very first lap, there was a lot of excitement. We have seen videos before coming here, but actually driving it, it's even better. The elevation changes are really challenging, and when you are on track at the beginning, it takes a while to learn, to understand. It's one of those places that the more you drive, the more you learn, the more you find, find details around the circuit. It's very challenging.
Yeah, it certainly looks it, and we can see the drivers all picking it up as they go along. We had a tough race here. The very first race here was a bit tough. We had 2 safety cars out, but we can see already everybody's figured out where to overtake and where not to overtake. And it was a very, very clean but still extremely interesting race in In the evening yesterday, we had a fantastic train going on with Andrei Petrovic and Kirill Kutskov and Saqer, and I believe Hamda was in there as well at the back. Even Omar Al-Walid Al-Durrani was trying to get his hand in there. It was a fantastic fight. They seemed to be up right on top of each other the entire race, but nobody could find a way past. Saqer tried and tried and tried. Even at the carousel he was trying, but just couldn't get past Andrei in front of him.
So I really loved that race from the coaching point of view, because we didn't have so much action, but it meant that nobody did mistake. It meant that everybody drove his best, and that the pace was so similar between them that it was really difficult to overtake each other. So I think they all did an amazing job, and this made me very proud of them. So from that point of view, I think it's the best race we had so far, even if definitely wasn't the most exciting, but it was my favorite from, you know, the driving standards point of view. Everybody did an amazing job. Very clean, but fair and tough, and it has also been the fastest race we had, both for the leaders and both for also the guys that were more at the back. They also improved massively, and they had so much faster pace, so really promising.
So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody's stopped on grid now. This is the formation lap, I believe. In just a moment, you'll see the lights go green, and we'll proceed around one more time. This will be the final lap now before the start of the race. Once the cars come to rest once again at the starting grid, you'll see all 5 lights go on, and as they extinguish, we will be underway. Formation lap here, we need to see everybody warming up their tires, as Luca has explained to us time and time again. There's 2 methods to do this, longitudinally and latitudinally. In the sighting lap, traditionally you'll see the more longitudinal braking to bring the temperature into the discs and pads and rims and warm up the inner part of the tire. And now you can see everybody moving to a longitudinal warm-up pattern where they're now trying to warm up the exterior of the tire as well. Have I gotten that right this time around, Luca?
Fantastic, Aaron. So that's a perfect explanation.
Well, I guess you can teach old job new tricks, huh?
And this is the Pirelli tire, so I would say for Formula 4 is really good tire, I have to say, and is what we see also in other championship at top levels in Formula 4. And but
it's
also
actually the only championship other than Italy that uses Pirelli, isn't it?
Is Italy for sure, and also Central East Europe.
CZ uses Pirelli as well, do they?
Yes, and some winter series also.
Okay.
But I think it's also important because when you go up in the next categories, like for example the regional by Alpine or F3, F2, you have also a similar tire in terms of characteristic because it's the same brand. And Pirelli, it's a really good tire, but it has a very specific and crucial warm-up procedure that you just have to learn and feel. So for them, that they are rookies, it's also important that they learn this process, so they will be able to bring this experience forward in the next years. And also because Pirelli is so specific for the warm-up. Once you learn how to feel it, then also if you drive other tires, then it's an experience that is really important because you can still transfer the experience on the other tires, and then I think it's one of those things that it will remain forever. And
it's like riding a bike.
Yes. To make a long story short, yes. You got it.
Well, coming down the back straight now, let's have a quick run through the starting order. In pole position, we have the dark blue number 55 of Laura Villas driving for Sweden, just ahead of Juancho Probio driving for the Philippines in the red number 77. The 2 drivers starting on the front grid, on the front row, the front grid by virtue of their reverse times, the reverse second fastest laps from qualifying. Just behind them we have Faisal Al-Kabani and Omar Al-Walid Al-Durrani, the Saudi drivers in the silver and yellow cars respectively. 5th and 6th we have Federico Al-Rafai and Saqer Almaosherji. 7th and 8th Hamda Al-Kabaisi and Oscar Wirtz. Andrei Petrovich and Kirill Kutskov round out the top 10, while Solomon Zanfari, Jabir Al-Thani, Abdulaziz Abu Zanada and Abdullah Al-Kabaisi round out the rest of the grid. And unfortunately, Hamda Al-Kabaisi not able to join us this weekend, but she will be back in Qatar, ladies and gentlemen. And you can see now all the cars have taken their position on the grid. Safety car at the back of the grid, and in just a moment we will see the lights go on. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and once they extinguish we will be underway. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 2 lights, 3, 4, 5, and away we go. Looks like a good start from John Show and Laura Villas. Omar Al-Walid Al-Durrani having a little bit of a look up the inside, but deciding against it, tucking in behind the cars in front of him as Amda Al-Kabaisi goes around the outside at turn 1 to get the inside line through 1A. Can she make a move? It looks like they're 4 wide through 1A, and a spin there on the exit of 1A. That appears to be an orange car. Perhaps that might be bad news for Solomon Zanfari, and indeed it is bad news from Solomon Zanfari, who has a spin here at the opening section of the race. Seems like he's going to be able to get going again, so there won't be any need for a safety car. Fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen, as we come 2 or 3 wide through turn 2 and up over the crest of the hill, down into the carousel of turns 3, 4 and 5. A little bit of a spin there as well for the green car of Faisal I believe that's Abdulaziz Abu Zanada, and the number 9, the orange car of Abdullah Al-Kabaisi. There may have been a little bit of contact there. Hopefully they will get going again as we come around the train into turn 7, a little bit wide on the exit there as we come down now through the flat out sections of turn 8, 9, 10 and 11 before we move into the right hand sector of the circuit. Looks like we're going to be stuck with the safety car, ladies and gentlemen. Car's the number 11, that is Oscar Wirtz in the white number 11 car, who seems to have made contact with the light blue car of perhaps Kirill Kutskov or Saqer Almaosherji. We will see in just a moment who has had the unfortune to move out of the track and bring in the safety car. I'm sure we'll get a replay of that action for you in just a moment. As we continue around the circuit now, Omar Al-Walid Al-Durrani may have just made a critical error overtaking under safety car. I'm sure he just didn't see the safety car lights out at the moment, but unfortunately for him,
or maybe he just got his position back. If we haven't seen before, maybe one show.
Yes, that's possible. He may have been just taking back his position. I hope for him that is exactly what's happened. And in any case, the safety car has taken up the race leader, and we will now proceed on the safety car until the cars on track can be cleared. Did you notice which corner they were at, Luca?
I believe between 6 and 7, but it wasn't clear. While it's good, this is good news for Zanfari because he managed to restart the car and pack up again without losing the lap. So good news for him. So this safety car definitely helps him, because otherwise he was, it wouldn't be. Oh, also Abdullah is out of the car.
Yeah, we saw a spin at turn 2 between the green car of Abdulaziz Abu Zanada and the orange number 9 car of Abdullah Al-Kabaisi. The green car seemed to get going again. Unfortunately, Abdullah not able to do so, and you can see him there going behind the service barriers as we continue now down into turn 2 with the safety car leading the procession. A bit slow perhaps here with the safety car, Luca. They could go a bit faster if you think.
So, we had a bit of a discussion on what was the right pace for the safety car. I think the main goal was for the safety car to pick up first at the begin, and then they will probably ask them to speed up. But also now we go in the area where there are, where there is yellow flag and there are the cars stopped, so they just maybe reduce the speed a little bit too much, but then I'm sure that once the track is clear, the safety car will speed up a little bit more.
Yes, indeed. As they come over the crest now and down into turns 3, 4 and 5, the carousel, Luca Filippi's favorite corner of the track. Mine's the next one on the circuit. That's turn 6, the sweeping left-hander. And it looks like we're going to have a quick replay of the start of the race now. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 and 5 lights. And as they go out, we are underway. A good start from the drivers on the front of the grid. Omar having a little bit of a look. And Abdulaziz Abu Zandan actually seemed to have a fantastic start at the back of the grid as we come 2 or even 3 wide down into 1A. You can see Hamda Al-Kabaisi trying to make a move on the inside of 1A. And you can see here, this is what happened. There's just a little bit of a touch between the green car and the orange car. That's Abdulaziz Abu Zanada and the orange car of Sulaiman Zanfari. Sulaiman spinning off as a result, but managing to rejoin the race, as you can see on screen at the moment. Back to the action, you can see we are coming down into turn 2 on the replay here, side by side again in multiple scenarios, and you can see this is where there's going to be that little touch between Abdulaziz Abu Zanada and the orange car of Abdullah Al-Kabaisi. There you go on screen at the moment. Abdulaziz managed to continue while Abdullah stalls on track, and this will be one of the reasons why the safety car is brought out. You can see here as well, this is the primary reason. Now there's going to be some contact in just a moment between the light blue car and the white car of Kirill Kutskov and Oscar Wirtz. Replay now from the angle of the drone. You can see a very, very interesting angle at the start of the race. Down the grid, you can see some people getting a fantastic start as we go 3 wide into turn 1, 1A and 1B. Really interesting section of the track here, because when you overtake on the inside at turn 1, you lose the advantage on the outside at turn 1A, and then you gain it back again on 1A. So it's a very complicated section of the track to get correct. But it does seem as if some of the drivers are picking it up, because we're having a very, very interesting race time and time again as we come down the main straight now with all of the cars still proceeding behind the safety car. Hopefully we'll get a message from race control soon that the safety car will be coming in, but at the moment it seems that we're still recovering the cars of Kirill Kutskov, Oscar Wirtz and Abdullah Al-Kabaisi. Abdullah Al-Kabaisi's car there, the orange car just coming behind the service roads, and you can see the white and light blue cars being recovered, so we should be underway momentarily. Luca Philippe, what words of wisdom do you have for Faisal Al-Kabani at the front of the pack under the safety car restart?
So Faisal is a really fast driver, experienced driver from Saudi, and he was a little bit inconsistent with his starts, while today he had a good one, and he also managed to overtake Laura Villas right before the safety car intervention, which was, I think, crucial for today, because he has to try and once we have a restart, to stretch as much as possible the gap, because Laura for sure will do her best to maintain the podium position, but definitely I expect Federico Arifai and Omar Alderayyan trying to push from the very beginning right after the restart. So in that phase, Faisal has an opportunity to try and stretch the lead a little bit. This is what I believe, yeah.
Well, he's got no choice if he wants to win the race. He's got to stretch that lead. We saw it's possible yesterday evening with Sulaiman Zanfari, who managed to rack up a 4-second lead ahead of Oscar Wirtz, the man in second place, who is unfortunately still beached on the outside of turn 7, I believe, or is that the inside of turn 6 over there? Is that them over there on the inside of the outside of turn 5, inside of turn 6? No, I didn't see exactly where they spun off.
Exactly, me neither. Like, for sure, it's a bit weird. Both cars were basically pointing out towards the runoff area, so I think it's one of those scenarios where when you are wheel to wheel, then you sort of the rotation of the wheel coming together sort of change the direction of both cars, and they lost control and they got together like that, and one of those things that in the first lap can happen. Definitely not what they wanted, as they both had a very, very fast pace. Like yesterday, Oscar finally managed to have a strong race with a podium position with P2, and today he definitely wanted to try and have a couple of other podiums, while Kirill, starting from the first row yesterday, he just didn't just didn't maximize after a slow start, like we just said before. So just a shame to lose two fast drivers and contenders for today's race too.
Yes, indeed it is, but it is good news for some of the other drivers on track, such as Andrej Petrovic, who's going to be trying his hardest to get up into the podium positions. He, of course, will have to fight with Gianjo Brobio, who's just in front of him, and Federico Alrafai, who seems to have had a very good start indeed. Federico started off P5 and he's now up into P3 already, and I'm sure under the safety car restart he's going to try and make a move on Laura Villas just in front of him, and then immediately after that seek down Faisal Al-Kabani down into turn 2. I'm sure that's the goal he has in mind, but he's not going to be allowed to get away with that easily, because Omar Al-Walid Al-Durrani in the yellow Saudi car, the number 18 car, is right behind him, and he's going to be trying everything to get up onto the top step of the podium. Hasn't managed to have a podium yet so far this weekend or last weekend, unfortunately, but he's got his eyes set on it for this race. And with P4 and the safety car restart, he may well be able to make something happen for Saudi Arabia here this weekend, but I'm sure he'll be pushing on his compatriot as well, Faisal Al-Kabani, who's another Saudi driver driving the silver number 7 car at the front of the grid at the moment. This is going to be a very interesting experience for Faisal here, because it's going to be his first safety car restart where he's leading the grid, I believe, in these Formula 4 cars. He's going to have the opportunity to control everything and see exactly what happens at the restart, and he's only going to have a few corners to finalize any planning he may have in regards to that. As I just see from race control, the safety car should be in this lap. We understand that the safety car lights should go out at turn 16, so we are just 4 corners away, ladies and gentlemen, from that happening, and once it does, the safety car will proceed away from the grid in order to give them space to maneuver, and Faisal Al-Kabani will take over as the leader of the race. No overtaking allowed until the cars cross the start-finish line, so that means Faisal will have control of the pack, and you can see already the safety car lights have gone off, and it is proceeding away from the pack. Everybody speeding up in response to this. Faisal Al-Kabani now has to decide what exactly he's going to do and when he's going to put the throttle down. We've seen different concepts here. We saw Hamza Al-Kabasi start about midway down the back straight. We've seen other drivers start all the way at the beginning of the back straight, and we saw one guy just about at the final corner hit the gas. So it's going to be up to Faisal to see exactly what he does, and let's have a look on track now. We can see that he's still backing everybody up coming down the back straight now, and that's his prerogative to do so. I suspect that he's going to make a move coming just out of turn 20, and he's going to try and get his tires as warm as possible before he does that. Everybody queuing up behind him now, and you can see he's already put the throttle down coming down into the exit of turn 20. Seems to have gotten away very nicely indeed. Definitely got a bit of a jump there on Laura Villas as they come across the start finish line. Let's have a quick run through the order. We've got Faisal Al-Kabani, Laura Villas, Federico Al-Rafai, Omar Al-Durain, and it looks like there's going to be an overtake between the 2 red cars, the sister red cars, the 77 of John Brobio and the 49 of Andrej Petrovic. Andrej taking a very calm and level-headed approach to this overtaking maneuver on his teammate as they come through 1A, 1B, and down the second straight into turn 2, which is a fantastic overtaking opportunity. And it seemed like Andrej Petrovic got a much better exit coming out of turns 1B and is going to make the move up into turn 2. Is the light blue car of Saqer Almaosherji going to make a move as well? Yes, indeed he does. Both 2 cars follow their way through. The Serbian and the Kuwaiti drivers managing to make a move up on the Philippines into turn 2 as we come down through the carousel around the left-hander now at turn 6. It looks like Federico Al-Rafai making a move on the inside of turn 6 there on Laura Villas. Can he close the door through turn 7 and secure that position? I believe he already has, and has got now Faisal Al-Kabani in his sights as we come down through the flat-out snaky section here of turns 9, 10 and 11 before the right-handed section of the track. Luca Philippe, what did you think of that restart?
So Laura Villas did a super job in maintaining the position, even in turn 2, which is an overtaking place. But then she was a bit, caught by Federico just in a changing of direction after that. But I think she's doing her job right in order to maintain, stay calm and do her best. Federico, we have seen, is one of the fastest driver of the series, so it wasn't easy for her to keep him behind. And Faisal, yeah, he's still in the lead, but couldn't quite stretch the gap as maybe he wanted to.
And you can see on track Omar Walid Al-Durrani in the yellow number 18 car is having a lot of difficulty here trying to fend off the red number 49 of the Serbian driver Andrej Petrovic as we come down the main straight now. Andrej Petrovic makes a move up the inside at turn 1, secures that position on Omar Al-Walid Al-Durrani. Omar not going to give it up easily though, tries to fight back on the outside, trying to take that inside line through 1A, can't quite hold on to it and goes a little bit wide. He's lost a bit of time. They may have to now sacrifice another position to the light blue car of the Kuwaiti driver Saqer Almaosherji. The number 5 car on the left hand side of your screen now, ladies and gentlemen. Is he going to make a move up the inside, the outside at turn 2? Can he make it stick? And it looks like right behind him Hamda Al-Kabasi maybe trying to follow her way through as well around the outside at turn 2, too wide through turn 2. Looks like Omar manages to push him just slightly wide, and Hamda is going to capitalize on that loss of momentum to try and take Saqer Almaosherji. Al-Durrani, can she do that? No, she cannot. Saqer pushes her off, and the orange number 52 of Solomon Zanfari now capitalizing on the lost momentum with the cars in front of him to overtake Hamda Al-Kabasi on the inside at turn 6, closing the door through turn 7, and we're now into the flat out section of the track.
Yeah, we were saying yesterday we had a very clean race and not so much action, but here it is today, race 2. What a fantastic race, a lot of action, and good job from Suleiman Zanfari in just being at the right time in the right place, and he just got Hamda Al-Kabasi, while Omar is in a bit of a struggle after the restart. We expected him to fight for a podium position after where he wasn't. Mistake from Faisal Al-Kabani, but he maintains the lead for a moment.
Well, I think that he purposely went a little bit wide there, because we've seen that section of the track has a little bit of a aggressive curve, so we've instructed them to go, if you lose it a little bit, just go completely wide and avoid the curve so you don't damage the underbody of the car. Unfortunately for him though, he lost a lot of momentum, and it seems like Federico Al-Rafai has taken advantage of that and is up into P1 as we come down into the final corner of the track. Faisal Al-Kabani, of course, not going to give up easily as we come down the main straight. Now you can see him trying to get a toe on the driver in front of him, but he's maybe just a little bit too far back to make that happen. Just behind them we see a lot of action on track with the number 49, the red car of the Serbian driver Andrej Petrovic, and just behind them of course we have Laura Villas still holding in there for P4. Fantastic drive so far from her.
Yeah, Laura, I mean, she did great also to stay quite close to the guys in front, so it's also good for her to get references and to stay in the lead pack, so she can also improve a little bit her driving, and also imitation is one of those things that these guys they do, while they are following other people. It's not just the slipstream and the toe, it's also learning from what you can see from the lines and the techniques from the guy in front, and she's doing a really good job in maintaining the position, and also in not making mistakes, stay in the line nicely. Good job for her.
To see how close the yellow car Roma Al-Durrani was behind her through the carousel there, Luca, right up, almost touching indeed it was.
Yeah, super close, and potentially this is a section where we have seen Omar quite fast in this very long corner, and ideally he has to try and stay flat out through turn 19 and maybe have a try turn 20, which is the last turn of the circuit.
And the battle for I believe that is 7th position is still undergoing between Solomon Zanfari and Hamda Al-Kabasi in the orange number 52 and the purple number 8 car. Solomon took that position a few laps ago, but Hamda is not giving up easily, and it's been tussling back and forth between the two of them ever since. As you can see at the front of the track, Andrej Petrovic trying to make a move on the man in front of him, Faisal Al-Kabani, and just behind them, Saqer Almaosherji trying to make a move on Laura Villas. Laura holding on as hard as she can, but it looks like Saqer got a very, very good exit coming out at turn 20, and he may be alongside already as they come down into turn 1, and he has secured that position for Kuwait. That puts Saqer up into P5, and now he can start charging down the men in front of him.
So we now have car 18 and 77 for potential overtaking under safety car. we have seen a situation, but for sure they are reviewing.
It looks like we're going to go 3 wide down into turn 2. Sullivan Zanfari making a move up the inside of Laura Villas, while Hamda Al-Khabaisi tries to make a move as well. They're both past Laura, and can Hamda capitalize on this to try and make to get herself back in front of the orange car, the Moroccan car? Can she do that? Not quite, as we come around turn 6 now. Are you as surprised as I am, Luca, at how many overtakes we've seen on the sweeping left-hander of turn 6? It's become my favorite corner of the track.
Yes, we have seen that the inside line is working very well, especially if you can prepare the angle in order to have a good exit and then stay in the inside and just make a shorter distance, and is really rewarding.
Yes, indeed, and you can see Andrei Petrovic still struggling to get past the man in front of him, Faisal Al-Kabani. Faisal having a very good race indeed to hold off the extremely experienced Serbian karter. As we come around into the final sector of the track now, you can see Hamda Al-Khabaisi all over the back of the orange number 52 of Sullivan Zanfari. Sullivan Zanfari having a spin at the beginning of the race really changed things up for him in this session, and Hamda is trying to capitalize on that loss of momentum he had at the beginning of the session to gain a higher podium position from herself. Coming down the back straight now, you can see that Andrei Petrovic is just right up behind the silver number 7 of Faisal Al-Kabani. Faisal holding on for dear life as Andrei looks for a position left, looks for a position right, but just can't find a way past the silver bullet.
So, in this lap, Omar, he was the fastest on track. So after the restart, he wasn't really finding the right rhythm, but now he's the fastest guy on the circuit. And as you can see, he got now quite close to the podium fight between Al-Kabani and Petrovic. And you see how Faisal is defending, Petrovic right behind him.
Switching back left and right, the red car having to have a look for the move left and right again. As we come down through turn 2, he decides to tuck in behind the silver bullet in front of him and down up over the crest, down into the carousel. Looks like a bit of a wide line there from the silver number 7. Are we going to see another overtake on the inside of turn 6? Andrei not quite close enough to pull it off this time around, as we switch back now to the right-handed turn 7 and then down through the flat-out section of the track. A bit of a breather here perhaps for Faisal Al-Kabani. He can regain his composure and look for a way to pull away from the driver behind him.
Yeah, watch out also because Omar Al-Durayan and Saqer Almaosherji, they are also joining the group. So now it's a fight for 4 guys for the moment, and let's see. This is very interesting.
It's a very, very interesting battle indeed, and we saw
Faisal wide again.
Everybody managing to continue through safely, though, with the silver car still at the head of this pack, but he has definitely lost momentum with that excursion. As we come around now the penultimate corner of the track, I can see them out the commentator's window as they come down the back straight now. Looks like the red car of Andrei Petrovic is just a little bit too far back to make a move on the silver bullet, but Omar Al-Walid Al-Durrani may be close enough, and it looks like he's going to switch back on the red number 49 at the exit of turn 20. Can he get in the slipstream and come alongside before turn 1? Not quite, doesn't quite have enough exit speed from that corner, but it definitely appears like Andrei Petrovic has had to back off in his second place challenge in order to defend from the yellow and blue cars of Omar Al-Walid Al-Durrani and Saqer Almaosherji just behind him as we come down the second straight now and into turn 2, which is another fantastic overtaking opportunity. Up the inside or around the outside, Luca Philippe, what do you predict? And it looks like Saqer Almaosherji is not going to give you an opportunity to answer, as he's now side by side with Omar Al-Walid Al-Durrani through turn 2. Both drivers giving each other enough space, but being pushed just slightly a bit wide. There is the yellow cars that come down into the carousel. Can Omar maintain track position? He does so very effectively indeed. And oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, The orange number 52 of Sullivan Zanfari is taking advantage of this battle and has gone around the inside of Saqer Almaosherji on turn 6 and is now going to be able to close the door through turn 7 and have a flat out section to gain a little bit of distance between his on-track rival as they come down into turns 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16. This is the next chance where we might see an overtake, and it may be possible for Saqer Almaosherji to regain that position on the Moroccan driver as they come down into the right-handed sector of the track. We can see a yellow car, light blue car, a purple car and an orange car, so it seems like Amda Al-Kabaisi is in there as well now.
Yeah, so Amda went on the inside in turn 7, and she just found the space she needed to just squeeze in on the inside, and yeah, she made it stick. Saqer was able to hold on the outside from Sulaiman Zanfari and defend, and that gave Amda the momentum and the opportunity to also get the place. And now Amda, she looks really fast and really close to Saqer Almaosherji. Amda, she's now really fast at the moment, and she maybe also able to maintain his tire in the right working range, and she seems one of the fastest car on track for the moment.
Well, after a maneuver like that, you've really got to regain a lot of confidence. I mean, you have to give credit to Omar as well. He managed to fight back from turn 2 and regain that position at turn 3, sliding down through the carousel to push Saqer off and regain his position. Fantastic driving from the Saudi.
Yeah, Omar is a fighter. We know that. Also because it was the right time to try and do it, because it was so close to the fight with Petrovic and Al-Kabani, and if he lost the position to Saqer, it would have been really difficult to stay in that fight for the podium. But now, if he can, focus and close the gap again, he still have 1.5 lap to go.
And we can see the result of all of this battling is that Andrej Petrovic has been able to put the pedal down and is now challenging again for second position. As we can come around now through turn 6 and then down into turn 7, we're going to have a quick look into the pit lane and everybody paying rapid attention to the timing screens. Back onto the track now, though, we have Federico Alberfai in the white number 10 car stretching his lead, and as you can see, Andrej Petrovic right up behind the silver bullet of number 7 car, but Omar Al-Walid Al-Durrani is catching as well, and we're going to have a very interesting last lap, I believe, as we come through the right-handed sectors of the track now, turns 12, 13, 14 and 15. We can see a little bit of a different line there from the yellow car. Luca Philippe, what's the right line through this section of the track?
So you have to maximize the minimum speed. You have to try and carry as much speed as possible. It's a 4th gear corner, that one, and or 5th also. And you have to carry as much speed as possible. And now we have Amda really close.
Amda along the outside there. Is she going to make a move? Not quite. Stays tucked in, but it looks like Faisal Al-Kabani has lost his second position to Andrej Petrovic, and Omar Al-Walid Al-Durrani may have made a bit of a mistake coming out of the corner there.
That fast section is one of those places that...
Oh! Big contact here coming into turn 1. That's the wing of the car. The car's beached in the gravel. That is going to be a safety car, ladies and gentlemen, and I believe that'll mean we will end on the safety car as well. Coming down the second straight now, though, safety car hasn't been released yet, so there's still action on track, as it seems like Hamda Al-Kabaisi is going to take a position away from Kuwait coming down into turn 2 now. Saqer managing to maintain his track position quite well indeed as they come up over the crest and down into the carousel, turns 3, 4 and 5. Hamda following as closely as possible, and the orange number 52 of Sullivan Zanfari right behind her, looking up the inside of turn 6. We've seen this maneuver before, but Hamda wise to the tactic and has seemed to close the door coming through turn 7 as we come down now into the flat out, turns 8, 9, 10 and 11 before the right-handed section of the track. Luca Filippi, do you think we're going to see a safety car for that car beached at turn 1, or because it's the last lap, might we get away without it?
So definitely we can see from here a yellow flag displayed in that area, which is turn 2. So if we see a safety car, we might have to wait until we cross more or less the finish line, as the track is clear until when we arrive basically before turn 2. Such a shame for Faisal, and he had a bit of a difficult lap, and he was trying to regain a position, and unfortunately just touched the rear of Saqer Almaosherji and lost control.
This is now the final lap, I believe, and as we cross the start-finish line, we have Federico Al-Rifai taking first position ahead of Andrei Petrovic and Omar Al-Duran. Saqer Almaosherji bringing us fourth position here for Kuwait, and Hamda Al-Kabaisi taking home fifth. Quick replay now of the action here with Faisal Al-Kabani, I believe. As we come down, you can see him try to make a move onto the inside line on the Kuwaiti driver ahead of him, but just clips what would appear to be the rear left tire of the Kuwaiti driver and gets beached into the entrance of turn 1.
So, yeah, what a shame that the race has ended for like this for Faisal.
Big lock up there for the number 99 driver, Abdulaziz Abu Zanada, coming down into turn 2, but everybody seems to be okay and has gotten out of the car, and in just a moment the recovery process will continue, and we will head down to the podium for the results, and that's my cue, Lucas, so I'll leave you to entertain the ladies and gentlemen as we all head down to the podium procession.
Thanks, Aaron. And so, as you can see, we had a lot of action today. So after a very clean race yesterday, today we have seen a lot of action, many overtaking maneuvers, and Federico Rifai, after not a brilliant qualifying from yesterday, he managed to pull up a strong race, especially maximizing the restart. He got the place from Laura Villers, and later on he just was behind Faisal Al-Kabani, and after a small mistake from Faisal, he was able to gain the lead of the race, and another victory for Federico Rifai. Not a perfect day for him yesterday, but today is starting definitely on the right foot. And another podium for Andrei Petrovic, very consistent guy. He's really consistent, always there, and quite impressive. He's also a rookie, so he's not so experienced, but what we have seen from him is definitely somebody who has a lot of talent. And then Omar Al-Darayan, really funny guy. He's a fighter, he's a fast guy, and today he managed to bring home a podium, and he fought for it. So it's well deserved. And Saqer Almaosherji, another P4 home race for him, for Saqer, and he's displayed, he's shown a lot of speed. And then Hamda, she was probably the fastest today. Again, she didn't have a fantastic start, unfortunately, but her pace was really good, and also good points for Hamda. Suleiman Zamfari, not the start of the race that he wanted, as he had a contact and a spin in lap 1, but also thanks to the safety car he was able to rejoin the group, and then he did a good fight with Hamda through the race, and top 6 finish is good. Laura Villers, starting from the first row, I think, in a pole position. Laura did a very clean, good race. Also, the gap to the leaders was quite sure, and especially her best lap is a really good lap, because she managed to do a lap in 2:04. So good job, Laura, because the improvement you made has been incredible. And also Wancho managed to do a 2:04. So this means that now we have almost all the drivers in within 1 second. So also Laura and Juancho, thanks to also the reverse grid, they are also able to race in the lead pack, and this is really helping them to understand and learn the rhythm lap by lap, following the lines. And if you see the guy in front with the same car as you able to carry certain speed, then you're also doing the same thing. So here we have a replay of the accident. So Faisal is trying to make one of those maneuvers where you hide, let's say, yourself on the outside, and then in the braking you try and cross the line, and from the outside you go into the outside, so in order to surprise your rival. And here we see the big lockup from Abdulaziz in the last lap. But Faisal, yeah, I mean, what he tried to do, it was a correct maneuver. It's just that at the same time Saqer just braked for his braking point, so that has surprised Faisal a little bit, and he just didn't time perfectly the maneuver. Go Marcello for the interviews.
Omar Alderian, what a great race you had. Actually, you had really strong pace, especially in the middle of the race. You were one of the quickest car on track. And what a battle you have right over there, even with Saqer Almaosherji. Can you explain how it worked in between 2, 3, and 4 side by side? Wow.
Yeah, from Bahrain, you know that I like to go side by side in corners. But the fight with Saqer was very fair, very fun, honestly. We hugged it around the outside, and then I got inside 2 corners later. And then it was mostly just trying to stick together to catch the pack ahead, because we were catching and then we'd fight and we'd lose. A couple mistakes here and there. Race could have been better, but nevertheless, I'm happy with P3.
Well, with the pace you had, with the strong pace you had, seemed that you lost a little bit of time in the first couple of laps, right?
Yeah, the first couple of laps I was really struggling with something. I don't know if it was myself or the car, but I just couldn't get myself in the groove. But once the adrenaline kicked in, cars were around me, it was just go, go, go from there.
Congratulations, really great podium.
Yes,
Andrei Petrovic, sick.
Yeah, definitely.
You're always there. You're always getting points. How can you be so strong with your pace?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very consistent. In last 5 races, I got 5 podiums, so I'm very happy. Every time I was 3rd, so now I improved to 2nd. And, you know, starting from 9th, it was a long way back, but I had a really good start and managed to get 2nd. I hope that's how we go, and next race I go 1st, but we'll see.
Well, you're getting always better, so hopefully the next one will be the highest step. Congratulations, Ray. Really good job. Federico Rifai, winner of race 4 last week, and this time you won the 2nd race of the week. Yesterday you were struggling a little bit during qualifying, but now you're back.
Yeah, we had not so great qualifying, but yeah, first race was okay. We just got stuck behind the cars and we couldn't really do much. This race was definitely a lot better. I managed to get past 4 cars in front and I just pulled away.
So your work seemed to be quite easy, standing right there in front of all the people, just managing the gap. At the end of the race, you were just keeping the pace, or you were trying to pulling away?
I was trying to save the tires. As you know, I got quite a lot of graining. I was trying to save them for next race and try and avoid as much as I could.
Thank you, Federico. Go enjoy the podium.
So we heard from the top 3 finishers: Federico Rifai, Andrei Petrovic, and Omar Alderian. Definitely an exciting race, a lot of action, 2 safety cars, and here we have the classification. As we said, Federico Rifai, Andrei Petrovic, Omar Alderian. What a race from him. What a fight with Saqer Almaosherji in P4. Amdal Kubaisi, not quite the result she deserved today, but she has been really quick. So watch out for race 3. She might be one of the contenders. And then Suleiman Zamfari, P6 after the spinning the first lap, managed to regain some position. Laura Villers, really solid race and amazing improvement in terms of lap time for her in P7 and for Juancho Brobro in P8. Jabor Altani, good for him, back with us this weekend in 9th place, Jabor Altani, and then position 10 for Abdulaziz Abuzenada. While we have seen also Juancho that starting from the front, then he finished in position 11, and then unfortunately we have Faisal Al-Kabani and Abdullah Al-Kubaisi, Oscar Wurz, Kirill Kustov that didn't finish the race. So it was a bit of a hectic race. We have seen a lot of action and the safety car also. We are going to see again what happened in the first race of today, which is the race 2 of the weekend. So reverse grid of the second fastest lap from qualifying, contact from Suleiman Zanfari, the lost control, and then here we lose both Wurz and Kutkov, which are two very fast drivers, and here we have Almaosherji overtaking Juancho Brobrio and Zanfari, that from the back he had a fierce fight with Amda Al-Kubaisi and also with Laura Villers, and Amda then managed to regain the position later on, and Zanfari again fighting with Almaosherji, but Almaosherji managing to keep the position, and here we see the mistake and the accident between Faisal that after a difficult last lap, second last lap, he lost 2 positions, and then trying to regain 4th, he lost control. Here we have the leader and the winner of today, Federico Arifai. After a so-so day from yesterday, he managed to kick off the Saturday morning with a win. So he is also gaining valuable points for his championship fight, while his white teammate Oscar Wurz again had a difficult race today after the contact with Kutskov. We'll see again the start. 55 is Laura Villers, Juancho Brobrio on the outside, and 55 had a fantastic start, pulling away from P1, and Faisal Al-Kabani in the silver car in P2. Here we see in the middle of the pack also the contact that sent Zanfari in a spin. He will be able to rejoin the group, and thanks to the safety car also gains position. Here we have Kabani on the lead, and Zanfari managed to restart, and then we will have shortly also Wurz and Kutskov colliding and coming together, unfortunately for them. What a race, a lot of action. Here we also have, unfortunately, Abdulaziz Abuzenada and Abdullah Al-Kubaisi colliding together, and this eventually then we had a safety car after. We see again the start from the drone. Look at the start from Laura Villers. Really, really good reaction and amazing start. Also Faisal managing to gain P2 from the outside, and then carrying a lot of speed into turn 1A and 1B and into the lead. What a start from Faisal. And then in turn 2, Laura Villers did a very good job in maintaining the second position. This is a really fantastic circuit also from the drone view. And then we have the contact in turn 2 that unfortunately has ended the race of Abdullah Al-Kubaisi. And oh, here we see the action, and Wurz and Kutskov colliding at the entry of turn 6, a very long left-hander. And Yeah, we lost them at the very beginning of the race. Such a shame. Two fast guys. Kirill Kutskov is an okay karting world champion. Oscar Wurz is the youngest of the Wurz family, but is definitely a really fast, humble guy. And we are going to see the podium with Aaron Thompson presenting the podium and our best finishes of today, race 2. Aaron.
Andrei Petrovic! And in first position, Federico Alrapai! And now for the first place trophy presentation. And the second place trophy presentation. And the third place trophy presentation. Thank you, guys. Now, if everybody could reset for the rookie podium, please. And now, the rookie podium for the race 2 here in the Formula 4 Arabia Championship Event 2. In third position, Saqer Almaosherji! And in second position, Omar Aldarin. And in first position, Andrei Petrovic. And now for the first place trophy presentation. And the second place trophy presentation, please. And the third place trophy presentation. Thank you very much, everyone.
So after a very exciting first race of today and second race of the weekend, we'll see you again for race 3. Again, reversed grid race. So a lot of action again. Join us for today race 3 of Formula 4 Saudi Arabia Championship. Thank you very much.
Hello and welcome back to Kuwait Motor Town here for the Motor Town Gulf Prix Race 3 coming up in just a moment, and as always you have myself, Aaron Thompson, and Luca Felipe joining you as the commentators.
Hello everybody from Luca Felipe. So yeah, ready for race 3 after yesterday race 1, which was very technical and really quick race, and then a very fun and hectic, chaotic race 2 with a lot of action.
A lot of action indeed. We saw some fantastic on-track action, and that's a fantastic shot. It's maybe the best track shot I've seen so far as we speak about it. But I believe we're about to go down to Marcello Puglisi in the pit lane for a quick word with all the drivers before the start of the session. Luca, anyone in particular you want to talk to?
For sure, Faisal is from the 4th row, and after the contact from before, and Laura, that she made an impressive improvement.
Yes, indeed.
Here we are back on the grid for the 3rd race of the Formula 4 Saudi Arabia. We are going to talk with the driver just to get some information before the start of this 3rd amazing race. We have seen, like the 2nd race, there was a lot of battle, but now another race with the reverse grid. Try to get some information from Abdullah Al-Kubaisi. Hello Abdullah, how are you?
I'm okay.
So Abdullah is going to run with new tires. Are you going to gamble a little bit, trying to run a different strategy? You will have also a free grid spot position right in front of you. So what's your plan for the race?
I'm planning to make at least maybe 2 positions, or maybe even try and get into the points. So that's my plan. Yeah.
Okay, thank you Abdullah, and good luck for the race. And here we are from Philippines. We have Juancho Brobio that had the pole position start from the previous race. Now, unfortunately, with the reverse grid, is starting from the back. Hello, Juancho. Great improvement for last week. You're getting better and better. So, what are your hopes for this race?
Well, I guess I just want. I will do my best to overtake and match the pace of the cars in front of me.
Thank you very much, Juancho. Good luck for the race. Let's going on with the grid. We are going with the green car from Abdulaziz Abu Zenada that unfortunately got a penalty for this race. He will start from the pit lane. So you're trying to gamble too with new tires. Unfortunately, you're going to start with from the pit lane. But, I mean, you still have a chance to score some good points. You've shown a great improvement through the weekend.
Hopefully, I'm waiting for a safety car in this race to maybe make up the time that I lost during the start. The penalty for the one with the Zamfari, I don't agree with. But that's racing. Things happen, and we just have to accept it and move on. Hopefully, we're a good race today.
Okay, thank you Abdulaziz, and good luck. Give it all. And we are going on. Just some quick words from Qatar. We have Jabbar that wasn't here last week, and he has shown quite a good pace during the last race, Jabbar. So you're starting too with the new tires. And what are your hopes for this race? I mean, in the first race this morning, you were going pretty well, and you had some nice fight on track. What about this race?
Hopefully I'll keep the same pace, and I'll wait till someone makes a mistake and overtake, hopefully. That will happen.
Okay, thank you very much, Jabbar, and good luck for your race. Let's go on with one of the quickest driver in this championship. He got a really good win on the first race. So, Suleiman, as you had a really good qualifying lap, you're starting with the reverse grid from the back. I see you're running really bad tire. So what about this race with this tire? What do you hope for?
Get a good start, make the maximum, be as sharp as possible, and bring the car home.
Okay, Suleiman, good luck for the race. Let's going on. Now we have Kutskov Kirill that had unfortunately crashed during the previous race. He's going to start on the back of the grid still because of the reverse grid. So, Kirill, what are your expectations for this race?
Just send it and whatever it's going to be.
Okay. Good luck, Kirill, for your race. So, another really good driver in the championship in the front, but now it's time to race. I give you back the word. Thank you very much.
Just about to get underway here for the third race of the weekend. Almost the end of the weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us for just one more race at the end of the day, another few hours time. But before then, we have to get out of the pit lane, and that's going to happen in exactly 2 minutes time. 11:52, the scheduled open. The scheduling of the opening of the pit lane will have a quick sighting. All cars will stop on the grid. You'll see the green lights go on, and we'll go around the track one more time for the formation lap. And at the culmination of the formation lap, all cars will stop in their grid boxes. All 5 lights will go on, and as they extinguish, we will be underway for one more time here at the Kuwait Motor Town. We heard Marcello Puglisi down on the grid with Sulaiman Zanfari there, Luca, and he made a quick comment about tires. It looks like Sulaiman may be on a very heavily used set for this race. Is that strategy? Is he saving something good for the last race here at Kuwait?
Yeah, for sure. We have him and Federico Arifai and Kirill Kuskov and probably also Petrovic, that they are saving a very good set of tires for the final race. So all top 4 drivers, they are gonna have a very good set of tires for the 4th race, which is giving the full points. And they know that they don't have the best grip available for today, race 3. But because we have seen a lot of action, it's still possible to score points and maybe benefit for other people's mistake and potential safety car. Who knows? Race 2 that we have seen earlier this morning was really an interesting one, and sometimes reverse grid can deliver that sort of unpredictable racing.
Yes, indeed. And I mean, we've seen a lot of unpredictable racing so far. My particular favorite, all of the undertakes at turn 6, the sweeping left-hander after the carousel, which just seemed to have opened up a lot of opportunities on track that perhaps people weren't quite expecting. Is there anywhere else on track like that, Luca, where we could start to see some surprising overtakes here in this reverse grid race with perhaps a more heavily used set of tires on a lot of the drivers' cars?
Yeah, so on the contrary, we have Faisal Al-Kabani and Omar Al-Durayan that they are starting on a fresher set, because of their starting position that they are in starting in this race. So they have a real chance to get on the podium. But don't forget people like Wurz that yesterday has been incredibly fast, and he was unlucky with the accident earlier this morning with Kirill. But
well, let's have another brief look at the track now. And perhaps you can point out for us the best place to overtake, and you can't say turn 20 again, Luca.
Yeah, so turn 1, definitely you can overtake on the outside. And turn 2, same thing, we have seen people overtaking the outside. Inside turn 6, we have seen Zanfari doing that a lot. Inside turn 7, we have seen Amda on Zanfari. But then between 12 to 16 you cannot overtake. In 18 and 19 as well. And then turn 20. Definitely you can. So but what we can see more action now with uneven situation in the tires, so maybe also staying close in the fast corners will get you better exit speed for the next one.
Well, let's run through the starting grid then to see where all the action may be. We have Laura Villas, of course, starting on pole position in the blue number 55 car, driving for Sweden. Alongside her, Faisal Al-Kabani, the silver bullet in the silver number 7 car, driving for Saudi Arabia. Second row, Saqer Almaosherji and Omar Al-Durrani. That's Kuwait versus Saudi Arabia. Number 5 versus number 18. Third row of the grid, we have Federico Al Rafai and Oscar Woods. Federico and Al Rafai. Federico and Woods having a fantastic battle back in Bahrain. Oscar Woods, not the best race in the last race. Unfortunately, had a collision with Kirill Kutskov, but he's back up there in P6 now, ready to show us what he's made of. Hamda Al-Kabasi and Andrei Petrovich are 7th and 8th ahead of Kirill Kutskov and Suleiman Zanfari, who round out the top 10. Jabir Al-Thani and Abdulaziz Abu Zanada, cars number 96 and 99, start on the second last row of the grid and are joined by John Shobrobio and Abdullah Al-Kabasi. I can see the cars coming around the final corner now, Luke. I believe we're going to stop in our grid boxes, and in a few moments we'll see the green lights established, which will indicate the start of the formation lap. For somebody like Solomon, who might be on a more heavily used set of tyres, is there anything he needs to do differently in his warm-up procedure now, Luke?
Yeah, and so the more the tire is used, actually the easier is to warm up. There is also a technical reason. Maybe if I'm getting too technical, you tell me. So the higher is the tread, it means the more rubber layer you have on the tire. So it takes more time to heat it up. If this tread gets thinner, so you have not so much tread, then it means the layer is definitely thinner. So you don't have enough. You don't have as much rubber. So it takes less energy to warm up. So this is the difference. Sometimes can be a little bit of an advantage in, for example, the first lap, the used tire, because it takes less energy to warm it up. So it will be ready for Zanfari. So he can try and get the maximum potential from turn 1, 1A, 1B, and 2 in order to get as many positions as he can. On the contrary, in the last few laps, it might be a little bit overheating the tire. So that could be the issue for him later on in the race.
We saw as well he did quite a few laps in qualifying, so really this set's probably coming to the end of its life. Do you know if he's going onto a new set in race 4, or is he going back onto another used?
So we're talking about Zanfari?
Zanfari, yeah.
Yeah, so Zanfari will have the set from qualifying, so it will be a set with only a couple of laps turned on, a couple of push laps, maybe 5-6 in total, so it will be a very fresh set. And same thing will be for Oscar Wurz and for Federico Rifai, and as well for Petrovic. So, and Kirill Kutskov too. So five fast guys will have fresh tires for the final race. So in that case, they have to make sure that the little sacrifice they're gonna do now and the extra work they will have to do in this race with a used set, at least they have to take the most out of the new one in the final race of the day.
Yes, of course, and we can see them now coming around turns 12, 13, 14 and 15, the right-handed section of the track. In just a moment they'll be down the back straight, and then we'll be coming to rest in our grid boxes one more time here at Kuwait Motor Town for race 3 of the season, of the event, I should say, because of course this is a double header, which would make this race 7 of the season so far. And we're going to have to update you on championship standings just after this, but it's going to be a tough weekend, I believe, for Solomon Zanfari after the last race.
Yeah, I mean, it's also a physical event for everybody because this circuit is really demanding. So after a couple of weeks being here, we have seen drivers that are getting faster and faster, but also is physically and mentally really demanding. And the improvement we have seen from everybody is amazing. For example, Laura Villas, that is starting on pole now, she has improved massively also just in the previous race. Her racecraft was within a second compared to the fastest drivers of the series. So really impressive improvement from her.
Yeah, she was really kicking ass in the last race, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was enjoying it as well, I guess.
She was, yes. And Omar Alduran did a fantastic race as well. He was hanging in there. And did you see the move Hamda made on the orange 52, Sullivan Zanfari? We saw him overtake her at turn 6, and she just didn't let him have it. Turn 7, all of a sudden she was right back in there, taking it back from him. It was fantastic driving.
This is what we want to see from Hamda. We want her to be aggressive and to show her potential. She has been probably the fastest in the previous race, so I think she has the potential to overtake guys again and enjoy this race.
Well, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, all the cars have now joined us on the starting grid, and in just a moment we'll be underway. As you can see, the first light about to go on, light 2, 3, 4, 5, and as they go out, we are underway. The silver bullet, number 7, the silver bullet of Faisal Al-Kabani getting a fantastic start, jumping into first position. Saqer Almaosherji up the inside, Omar Alduran around the outside, down into turn 1, and that is a fantastic start there for Saudi Arabia, with 2 cars into the top 3, while there is some contact between Laura Villas in the blue, number 55, and a white car which may have been Federico Al-Rafai or Oscar Wirtz. Unfortunately, the white car managing to continue, but it looks like Laura Villas may have been beached there on the exit of turn 1A. Coming down into turn 2 now, though, we can see Hamda Al-Kabasi in the purple number 8 car making a move on Sullivan Zanfari, but Sullivan trying to switch back on the exit of the corner. Back to the front of the grid, we have the silver bullet, Faisal Al-Kabani, swerving through turns 3, 4, and 5, trying to keep ahead of Saqer Almaosherji, who looks like he's making a move up the inside of turn 6 and may be able to close the deal through turn 7. I can't quite see whether that's a silver or a light blue car at the front of the grid at the moment, but in any second we will have the outcome of that fight, and it does seem like Kuwait has come out on top and is leading the race here, race 3 of the weekend, with Saqer Almaosherji. Fantastic drive there from these 2 young gentlemen, and it seems like the silver number 7, the silver bullet, hasn't quite given up and is going to start challenging Kuwait for the lead of the race very soon indeed, as Hamda Al-Kabasi follows very closely behind Sullivan Zanfari through the right-hand section of the track.
Fantastic move
there from Kirill Kutskov.
Saqer.
Safety car out. Must be for Laura Villas, must be trapped still at turn 1.
Yeah, so unfortunately Laura Villas, she was stuck at the apex of turn, what we call 1B, which is basically the kink before the long straight, so definitely not the best place to be standing still, so they have to recover the car. Such a shame for her. She didn't have quite a good start, and they arrived 3 wide. Here we see her. They were 3 wide at the apex of turn 1A, and I think she had just nowhere to go. And
well, let's
she had
have a
contact
quick
with
look
Federico.
and see exactly what happened. Here we are, start of the race. You can see Laura in the blue, number 55, someone going around the inside, someone going around the outside, and just behind her she gets into contact with the white car of, I believe that is number 11. Yes, indeed it is. That's Oscar Wirtz. Contact with Laura Villas there on the exit of turn 1B. Laura getting beached backwards into the just above the curb there on the exit of 1B.
Wow, so Oscar Wirtz is in the pits, which is not a good news for Oscar. Definitely, so far, this place hasn't been very nice to him, I would say. Potentially he has like a wing damage or a flat tire. Let's see if he's able to rejoin, and yeah, he just went out. So at least he didn't lose a lap, which is really important. So he has an opportunity to come through the field and
there he is, joining
try and
us on
rejoin.
track
Yeah.
at the moment.
All right.
So as you said, Luke, it must have been just a little bit of wing damage or maybe a puncture or something of that effect. As you said, it's not been a fantastic weekend for him, but I mean, he's had the car under him, he's had the pace, but it's just a lot of these little bad luck, little incidents, touching into somebody here and there, that's really taken away a lot of his momentum that he built up in Bahrain.
Yeah, so it's been a bit unfortunate, this accident. It was like squeezed in the middle in between Andrei Petrovic and Laura Villas, and you know, where you are in the middle, sometimes there is not much you can do. Maybe when he was going to try the inside of Laura Villers, he should have maybe closed the door a bit more for Andrei not to take advantage, because Andrei, we've seen him racing, is really smart, and he's always basically at the right time, at the right moment. Also in this position, he placed himself on the inside, which gave him the opportunity to get a couple of places and also to put your rival in trouble, which is also sometimes one of those things you want to do.
Well, let's go back to the race start one more time. 2 lights, 3, 4, 5, and as they go out, we're underway. You can see Laura not getting the best start, but the silver bullet, the car on the right-hand side of the screen, getting away very well indeed. And the yellow number 18 of Omar Al-Darani going around the outside as the light blue number 5 goes around the inside of Laura Villas. And here's that contact again between Wirtz and Villas on the exit of turn 1B. You can see Andrei Petrovic, as Luca mentioned, taking advantage of the collision and moving up position as well. As we come down now the second straight into turn 2, you can see the yellow car of Omar Al-Darani following closely behind his comrade in arms, and of course the Kuwaiti driver Saqer Almaosherji as he come through turn 2, and after Al-Khabaisi makes a move up the inside of Suleiman Zanfari, who immediately cuts back onto track and takes as much an advantage as he can over the crest and down into the carousels, turns 3, 4 and 5. You can see this is where Saqer in the light blue number 5 car makes an inside move around turn 6 and closes the door into turn 7 to secure first position for Kuwait in this, the third race of the weekend, as the procession follows him through turns 6, 7 and into the flat out snaking section of 8, 9, 10 and 11 before the right hand section, turn 12, 13, 14 and 15. You can see on screen now the continuing replay of this moving on, but back to the live, and we can see everybody still lining up behind the safety car. Had a message from race control mentioning that there would be an investigation in regards to the contact between Oscar Wirtz and Laura Villas at turn 1B. With any luck, that car will be recovered this lap and we can go racing again very soon indeed. Luckily, however, we have a regulation to handle these exact scenarios where under safety car we can give back up to 3 laps to ensure that we get as much track time as possible, and track time is what these young drivers are here for, to learn how to be the next Michael Schumacher or the next Ayrton Senna, or if you're not 100 years old, the next Lewis Hamilton. So Luca, Philippe, what do they have to do after this if that's their goal?
So I remember well Schumacher and Senna, and I'm not 100 years old, so I don't know where you're heading to. So I love this rule about adding laps. I really love it. It's something that I don't think in Formula 4 we haven't seen yet in other championship. I'm sure somebody is going to copy this idea, because it's a really smart idea, because at the end of the day we want these drivers to learn and to gain as much experience as they can, and by starting all of them with equal amount of fuel in the race, we know exactly how many laps they can do under green, how many under safety car. So adding 3 laps is up to 3 laps. It's really something that is making the race as long as possible.
Well, 3 laps and now 3 restarts of the race. Let's have a look here from the drone angle, what we can see, what happens. Let's have a look at the right-hand side of your screen. You can see Laura doesn't get away quite quick enough, but Saqer Almaosherji does indeed. He was the light blue dot that danced into the left-hand side of the screen and moves up into second position at the first corner. You can see here now, this is going to be where the contact happens between Laura and Wirtz. There we are, bit of an incident there indeed, but Wirtz manages to plow through the gravel and continue back onto track.
So, this corner is unfortunately the picture of the weekend, with Andrei being at the right time, the right place, and Oscar, unfortunately, the opposite, being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Oscar is a super talented, super humble, super good. He's a hard worker guy, and he's also really fast. Like yesterday, race 1, he finished in a strong second place, and it was the best way to open the weekend. After in the trophy event, I would say he was probably the fastest guy on track.
He won 2 of the 4 races in the trophy event.
Yeah,
fantastic
and
weekend for him.
yeah, and you know, sometimes it's just like this. It doesn't click as you want, and then you are starting on the back foot, and then it seems like nothing is going your way, and but still, you know, we have 8 laps to go. He's in the race, and I really want him to fight back and see, and let's see what he can do.
Well, we've seen stranger things happen before, and on track now you can see Omar Alderain in the yellow number 18 car. This is probably good news for him. He's in P3. He's set up for a nice look at the podium, on the podium in the last race, and he's really got an opportunity here with the 2 Saudi drivers of Faisal Al-Kabani and Omar Alderain. This is P2 and P3, car 7 and car 18. May well have an opportunity here to lock out the second half of the podium.
I think that the fight for the podium is gonna be tough because Saqer has made a really nice move on Faisal, and Faisal has very good tires also. But Omar, you know, he's a tough guy and he's a fighter, so he's on fire, and he's happy with a potential podium position. But I don't know if it is exactly what he wants. I think he wants a win, so he will try to go for it.
He will indeed, and he's going to get his opportunity this lap, as message from race control is safety car in. In just a moment you'll see the safety car start to speed up, and then at turn 16 it'll extinguish its lights and leave the pack under the control of Saqer Almaosherji. Saqer Almaosherji in the light blue number 5 car driving for Kuwait is going to have his first safety car restart, I believe, in this race. This is his first opportunity to back up the pack and decide when we start go racing again. Of course, nobody allowed to overtake until all the cars are past the start-finish line. Luca, when does Saqer put the throttle down?
So you have 2 options basically. So from now on, we'll have the fast section, then we have the long right-hander, which is a multiple apex hander. And after that, the safety car will turn the light off. So that means from then, the leader has the opportunity to make the pace, so you don't have to stay anymore within the 5 lengths of the car to the safety car. And the safety car will speed up, Saqer will back up a little bit, and then you have 2 choices. Or you just, now we see the safety car with the lights off. 3 laps added, and now Saqer is slowing down. He can or put the full gas exiting this corner, or he will be doing it only after the last corner. So let's see what he does. We have seen 2 different approaches, but I'm quite sure that he will wait a little longer, and then more or less when he feels everybody quite close, he will just go flat out and then restart. He's taking a bit of a longer approach, like we have seen also this morning when Faisal was in the lead. He did more of a similar...
Seems to have put down the throttle now, though, and here we come down the back straight into turn 20. Is anybody close enough to make a move? Lots of people having a look, but Saqer seems to have had an excellent restart and is powering down the main straight now ahead of the Silver Bullet and the yellow car of Omar Al-Walid Al-Durrani, the yellow number 18, going to try and make a move into turn 1. Is he close enough? Not quite close enough, as Andrei Petrovic and the number 10 of Federico Al-Rafai go to war here at turn 1A and 1B. Andrei sliding up the inside at 1B. 1A tries to make a move, can't hold on to it, and the white car, Federico Al-Rafai, manages to stay out in front, as I believe Kirill Kutskov tries to take advantage of all of this action and seems to be going around the outside now here at turn 2. Are we going to be 3 wide coming into turn 2? Definitely 2 wide, as Andrei Petrovic tries to make another move on Federico Al-Rafai. Kirill Kutskov really taking this into his own and is going to have to make a move now coming down into the carousel, turns 3, 4 and 5, because Solomon Zanfari in the orange number 52 car is just behind him. Solomon looking at making a move up the inside of turn 6 on the Kyrgyzstan driver, but can't quite manage to make it as they come around the sweeping left-hander of turn 6 back onto the sweeping right-hander of turn 7 and down into the sneaky, the straight out snake here, the flat section of the circuit. turns 8, 9, 10, and 11 before they switch into the right-handed section of the track. Saqer Almaosherji out in front, lengthening his lead as Andrej Petrovic in the red number 49 car driving for Serbia tries to get his way up into 4th position. This, of course, advantaging Saudi Arabia here with Faisal Al-Kabani and Omar Al-Walid Al-Durrani managing to follow closely behind their Kuwaiti comrade Saqer Almaosherji and pull away from this pack that is fighting for 4th position at the moment.
So in the moment we also have in 8 Amda Al-Kubezi, and Amda, she has been really fast in the middle of the race, but now she is trying to overtake Suleiman Zamfari. I've seen she was really close and she is faster at the moment, so he has to try and get that position as soon as possible.
Look how close she is behind him. She seems to have carried more speed coming out of turn 20 as well. She's already on the right-hand side of the track. Looks like she's going to go around the outside at turn 2, but maybe not quite close enough to pull it off this time around. There's a real rivalry developing here between the orange number 52 and the purple number 8. That's between Morocco and UAE. Solomon Zanfari and Al-Kubasi as we come down the second straight now here into turn 2. Are they going to be close enough to make a move? Just focus here on the middle of the pack, ladies and gentlemen, as we'll see Hamda Al-Kubasi having a quick look down the inside, deciding against this a little bit too far back as she comes down through turn 2 now, up over the crest of the hill, down into turns 3, 4 and 5, the carousel. We can see the cars all sliding down on the exit there as Andrej Petrovic now fighting off Kirill Kutkov in the light blue number 23 car driver for Kyrgyzstan just behind the Serbian driver. You can see that Kirill is as close as you possibly can be through that section of the track, but not quite close enough to make a move as they switch back into the straight out, flat out section of the track. Turns 8, 9, 10 and 11. A little bit of a breather here for the drivers as they prepare for the right-handed section of the track. Turns 12, 13, 14 and 15. Next overtaking opportunity, perhaps turns 17 or 19 or even turn 20 as we come into the final sector of the track. Let's have a quick look at lap times. Saqer Almaosherji doing a 2:03.632 in that last lap. His setting personal best sector 2 of this lap, as well as Omar Al-Walid Al-Durrani takes it on the inside here, taking it away from the silver bullet Faisal Al-Kabani down into turn 17, I believe that was, and they switch back into turn, that must have been turn 18 as they switch back into turn 19, and the yellow number 18 closes the door on his Saudi Arabian comrade as they come down now the back straight into turn 20. Is there going to be an opportunity for the silver bullet to take his position back? No, he's not quite close enough, but will Hamda Al-Kubasi have something to say to Morocco at the same corner? Again, she doesn't seem to be quite close enough. Perhaps she'll tuck in behind the orange car and get into the slipstream and make a move down into turn 1. That may be what the silver bullet Faisal Al-Kabani is thinking, but he's just a little bit too far back, so Petrovic Andrej may be able to make something happen for us on screen. Ladies and gentlemen, through turns 1, 1A and 1B, but everybody deciding to hunker down in their positions and keep a hold of the racing action until there is an adequate opportunity to take an overtaking maneuver here.
So this has been a fantastic maneuver from Omar Al-Derayan on the inside in turn 18. Is normally a place that where we don't see many overtaking, but he just took advantage of a very slight mistake from Faisal, and he was able to go up in second position. In the meantime, Saqer is going very fast now. He's at the fastest lap of the race. We can see at the end of this lap how is the pace of Omar compared to Saqer, if he's able to close the gap, or if the leader is now, with his head down and pushing as hard as possible.
Well, with the clear air, Saqer certainly has an advantage, but Kirill Kutkov, ladies and gentlemen, just set the fastest first sector, 34.021, almost more than 1/10 of a second faster than the man in first place. So he is starting his charge, but unfortunately there's a lot of cars between him and the top step of the podium.
Yeah, Kirill was really, really close to Andrej, trying to find a gap to try and overtake. But Andrej, we have seen that he's really good at defending as well. And Kirill, he's been super quick this weekend, and he has to make sure he maximizes the points, and he will be in a good position also starting the final race of the day.
talking about lap times again, just quickly, Luca, I can see a 34.165 and a 44.072 green sector times for Omar Al-Tarain, and they're almost exactly the same time as the man in front of him, and he goes faster by 0.4 of a second in the third sector. So Omar Al-Tarain chasing down Saqer Almaosherji. That's Saudi Arabia versus Kuwait here in the third race of this weekend, as we come down now the main straight and into turns 1A and 1B.
So yeah, this is what I was curious to see, the pace of Omar, and he is now the quickest car on track, and this is the first lap that he was able to be by himself with nobody in front, and is pulling a really good lap together. Let's see if he also has the consistency to try and chase the lead. There is like almost 3 seconds between himself and Saqer. Of course, because when you fight with a contender, he was fighting with Faisal, he lost a little bit of time, but who knows, the race is still long.
6 laps left to go. He's going to have to pull out 0.5 of a second every lap. At the moment, though, in Sector 1, it's a 34.059 and a 34.088. That 34.059 for Saqer and the 0.88 for Omar Al-Tarain. So they're matching each other very closely indeed, but Omar has to find 0.5 of a second every lap if he wants to catch up to the man in front of him by the end of this race.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing to do, but we also have to take in we have to think about that, take in account that the tires may be falling over a little bit in the last couple of laps. So if you are also nice on tires during the race, maybe in the last couple of laps you may have an opportunity.
Who do you imagine has fresher tires on at this point in time, Omar or Saqer?
I think Omar is improving lap by lap, so it gives me the impression that he's looking really good at the moment. So for sure he's able to match the pace, if not to gain a little bit. It's not easy, more than 2 seconds, but he will try.
And it looks like Saqer actually had a bit of an answer for the Saudi Arabian driver that lap and pulled out another 1/10 of a second away from the second place driver, as we can see on track now. Andrei Petrovic and Federico Al-Rafai battling for 4th position.
Yeah, the first two, they are the only two guys able to stay within the 2.3 seconds, and so it means they are really pushing hard, and you know, they are the only two that they can think on themselves, while this group, they have to attack and defend one to the other, and so the lap times, they go up a little bit, they get a little slower when you have to fight for your position.
Yes, of course, but the silver bullet, the number 7 car of Faisal Al-Kubani, driving for Saudi Arabia, doing fantastically as well here, it should be said, holding on to his 3rd position here for 5 or 6 laps already, and that's really quite impressive, considering that Federico Al-Rafai, a race winner here in Formula 4 Arabia, and Andrei Petrovic, perhaps Rotax world champion, and just behind him CIK world champion Kirill Kutskov, are all right behind the Saudi driver of the number 7 car.
Yeah, I mean, this group is very close, and we have to see, anything can happen with 5 laps to go. The important thing is not to make any mistake. Faisal lost a potential podium in the previous race with 1.5 lap to go. So, you know, it's not finished until the checkered flag. You have to keep your head down and make sure you don't make any mistakes. And let's see if Faisal can learn from the previous race. I'm sure he will.
I'm sure he will. And at the front of the grid, there's a battle in lap times going on between Saqer Almaosherji. It's a green Sector 1 for Saqer, and then a green Sector 2 for Omar, and it's back and forth, and Omar not managing to pull a chunk of time out of the leaders' gap between them. But also, similarly, Saqer not managing to sail away at the front of the grid. And we can see on track Amda Al-Kabaisi and Suleiman Zanfari are still fighting for position. And this may give some advantage here to Oscar Wirtz, who's going to try up the inside again at turn 1 on an orange car this time around. Is he close enough to make a move? Not quite, but he's positioned himself very nicely indeed to get an excellent exit, slipstream down the second straight, and perhaps make a move coming into turn 2. That may well put a smile on the Austrian's face yet this weekend, and I believe that's himself making that move up the inside at turn 2 as we just predicted, and a very nice move it was indeed, and that's going to take some pressure off of Amda Al-Khabaisi, because now the white and orange cars are fighting, and she may be able to pull away and start to catch up to Kirill Kutskov and join that battle for 3rd position.
So Zamfari is struggling a little bit with his tires, so Wurz is faster in this phase of the race, but Zamfari is also the leader of the championship, so maybe he doesn't want to take risk, and so maybe as it is, he's down to P9. For sure not what he wanted, but this is what he has to deal with, because at the moment we have at least 9 drivers that are able to fight for podium positions, and the level of these guys is going up and up race by race. They are improving literally from one day to the other.
Yes, indeed, and even from lap to lap, you can see here now, Omar Al-Durrani just set the fastest first sector with the 33.941, almost a tenth of a second faster than the man in front of him. The gap between the two drivers quite consistent, a 2.7 or a 2.9, depending on what phase of the lap that you are looking at. As we come around now the penultimate corner of the lap, we can see everybody joining us down onto the main straight. Is there going to be any chance for an overtaking opportunity here between the cars battling for 3rd position? Faisal Al-Kabani, Federico El-Rafai, Andrei Petrovic and Kirill Kutskov? No, not quite. And you could see indeed that Faisal Al-Kabani seems to have pulled out a little bit of a lead between himself and the cars behind him of Federico El-Rafai and Andrei Petrovic. Of course, Federico having to worry primarily about defending from the Rotex World Champion just behind him, and Kirill Kutskov, I'm sure, having to have a look as well to see if he can take advantage of what's going on here in front of him. And you can see Andre had 2 looks there and decided again that he's just not quite close enough here at turn 2 to make that move up over the crest and down into 3, 4 and 5 the carousel before we hit into the left-handing sweeping turn 6 here, and then back across onto the right-handed sweeping turn 7, and then into the flat-out section of the track, turns 9, 10 and 11.
So yeah, between these 4 drivers we have a bit of an elastic effect, so they were more compacted. Now it looks like Faisal was able to pull a little gap, like as we see now, but there is no time to take a breath, because still with 3 laps to go, 2.5, you cannot really make a mistake. It's a really fast circuit, so a little mistake you pay a high price for it. And
yes, indeed,
also
and we can see that as well here, because car number 52 is just got a multiple track limits warning, so he's going to have to pay attention to that, because he doesn't want to slip out of the points with any kind of penalty. That, of course, being the orange number 52 of Suleiman Zanfari. As we said, he does seem to be on older tires, and he may be struggling here with that set coming to the end of its life, but with 3 laps left to go in this race, he may still be able to hold onto it. We can see the silver bullet, the number 7 car, pulling out his lead from P2 to P3, and Andrei Petrovic again just having a little bit of a look and then deciding against it. Federico El-Rafai positioning himself perfectly to maintain his 4th position, but not able to catch up to the silver bullet in front of him, while concentrating on keeping that red number 49 of Andrei Petrovic behind him. Oscar Wirtz, though, ladies and gentlemen, he's going to be fuming in that car. He made a mistake here at the beginning of this race, but he's fought his way back up into 9th position, and now he's got Hamda Al-Khabaisi just ahead of him. You could see on screen just a moment ago the purple and white cars. The purple number 8, of course, Hamda Al-Khabaisi, and the white number 11, of course, Oscar Wirtz, driving for Austria. You can see on screen now the 2 drivers in question as Oscar Wirtz makes a move up the inside here at turn 2 on the purple number 8 of the UAE driver Hamda Al-Khabaisi, and a very nice move it was indeed. He closes the door just as they crest over the hill before they move down into turns 3, 4 and 5. Hamda Al-Khabaisi going to try to come back up close, but it does seem as if Oscar Wirtz has the momentum, at least in this phase of the race, Luca.
A brilliant move from Oscar. Very late but very clean, so he just went for it at the very last minute, and but he was able to go fully alongside, so he didn't give any opportunity to Hamda to fight back. So it was a really nice and clean move, and it's good that even if there was the unfortunate accident at the first lap, he was able to keep his head down, Oscar, and he's doing a very good race. For sure, he has the same pace, if not better, compared to the group that we see here. But unfortunately, you know, coming from behind, now he's too far to catch this group.
Well, his best lap time is a 2:03.844, so that may well be that he's one of only 3 people on track with a 2:03 to his name at the moment. So he's definitely one of the fastest cars on the track, but unfortunately it just isn't reflected in his race position at the moment. As we come down the main straight now, we can see the silver bullet, the number 7 car of Faisal Al-Kabani, still maintaining his second position, but it does seem like Federico Al-Rifai may be catching up in the background there. Of course, Andrej Petrovic, the deciding factor in this fight, because he's going to be all over the back of the Federico Al-Rifai number 10 cars. We can see off track now, number 99, I should say, Abdul Aziz Abu Zanada seems to be beached on the exit of turns 12 and 13. That may well bring out a safety car, because that is a very, very fast section of the track, and it may not be possible to allow the drivers to remain there. But with 1 lap left to go on the boards, I'm not sure exactly what will happen, as Faisal Al-Kabani makes a small mistake coming down the carousel, and Federico Al-Rifai pounces on the Saudi Arabian driver, trying to make the move stick up the inside of turn 6. Doesn't quite have the momentum to get past him. Can he come back into turn 7? It seems like the silver bullet manages to hold off the white car, the white number 10 of Federico Al-Rifai, as they come through the flat out section of the track now. Turns 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Can the silver bullet keep the driver in the UAE car just behind him? He seems like around the outside, and are we going to be under yellow flag? Is the racing going to have to be called out? And it seems like Federico Al-Rifai manages to get past the silver bullet just coming into turn 16 and 17, and with any luck that may have been before the yellow flags came out. There must have been yellow flags on track at that section because of the green car, the number 99 car of Abdulaziz Abu Zanada. As we can see on track now, though, Saqer Almaosherji in the light blue number 5 car coming home for Kuwait in first position. A fantastic race there for Saqer. Just behind him we have Omar Al-Walid Al-Darani in the yellow number 18 car. Fantastic race for him, as well as we come across the start finish straight in first and second position. 3 wide now here, ladies and gentlemen, fighting down to the wire, but it is Faisal Al-Kabani in third position, I believe, as we come across the start finish line.
Federico Al-Rifai, we have seen briefly that he went with his light on, which is a rain light, so he wanted to give Faisal the position back. So while he got the position, he probably, with his side vision, he realized there was yellow flag displayed, so he intentionally gave the position back, as he knew otherwise he was going to be penalized 100%. So he's a quite experienced driver, so he gave the position back, and so he should be fine like this, with Faisal able to retain his podium position. Good job, Faisal, you got the podium this weekend. And Federico in fourth, but that gave a launch into the last corner with Petrovic and Kirill, that, you know, were trying also to benefit from Federico slowing down a little bit. But yeah, I mean, at the end, it looks like even if it were for like a 200 of a second, Kutskov wasn't able to overtake Petrovic on the line.
No, indeed he wasn't, but it was a fantastic race, and I believe that's my cue to head down to the podium, Lucas, so I'll see you again very shortly.
Yes, so we will see shortly the podium of the top 3 and also the top 3 rookies, with the home hero Saqer Almaosherji from Kuwait winning a race, at least one race this weekend. So it's definitely important to him to win a race at home, and he's done it in style, in winning and pushing through the race the whole time. Only Omar Al Darayan was able to keep his pace. They were the fastest guys today, and great podium for Omar again. While we have seen the fight for the third place, that at the end it was for P3 for Faisal Al-Kabani, just managed to get his position back from Federico Rifai. So definitely potentially there will be a review, because when you're taking the yellow flag you shouldn't do it, but he understood the situation, and he gave the position back as soon as possible. So here we have Omar Darayan congratulating Saqer Almaosherji. It's good to see these guys, very young guys with little experience, but already fast and able to fight with the Formula 4 experienced guys. We have seen some incredible racing. Really happy Saqer Almaosherji, and he's been very consistent here in Kuwait, but he hasn't won a race yet, but finally he did. So I'm sure that this will be a very sweet podium for himself and his family. So it was quite a clean race, just the spin from Abdulaziz Abuzenada through the end of the race, and he, unfortunately for him, ended his race in the gravel. While for the rest, we had contact in turn 1A in between Oscar Wurz, who had to go through the gravel, and Andrei Petrovic and Laura Villars, who unfortunately for her, she was on the outside, so nothing she could have done. She just ended up in the gravel, and the race was over for her. Such a shame, as she has shown a great improvement in the previous race. She was she even made a lap into the 204s, which is really competitive, so it is good that she was able to improve herself as driving so much through the weekend. This means that when you give all the drivers equal opportunities with equal cars, same setups, same amount of fuel, same amount of tires and testing, and we give them the opportunity to see each other's data, videos. So when you give them the tools and the people to help them to improve themselves, then they can deliver these results. And of course, at the end, the final couple of tenths is down to the talent, is down to having the speed in your blood, but it means that the good drivers, they can improve and can learn quickly when they have the right tools, the right mechanical package behind them, and the right people. So this is definitely rewarding to us. So let's hear what the top three guys they have to say in a moment. Definitely we're very interested to see what they had to say, and we have an all Middle East podium, which is also, this is really interesting because we have a very, very international field. So for today's race we have Kuwait, Saudi Arabia on the podium, and then we have UAE, we have Serbia, we have many different countries, we have Austria, we have Morocco, and here we have the final classification. Saqer Almaosherji, winner of today, Omar Al Darayan in second, Faisal Al-Kabani managing to get on the podium like he said to us he was going to, and Federico Rifai in P4, Petrovic Andrei in fifth, Kirill Kuskov trying to overtake Petrovic on the line, didn't quite do it, but it is P6 for him. Oscar Wurz, after a very unlucky first lap of the race, but he displayed a lot of speed. Hamda Al-Kubaisi in 8th, Suleiman Zanfari, the leader of the championship, in 9th position. Abdullah Al-Kubaisi in position 10. Then Juan Chobrobrio from Philippine in 11, Jabor Al-Thani in 12. So unfortunately Laura Villers and Abdulaziz Abduzanada, they didn't finish the race. Abdulaziz he went out in the final lap. So this is the third race of the weekend. We have seen qualifying yesterday morning, and the race 4 will be based on the 4th lap of the qualifying in the running order. So we will have again a race that is directly dependent on the pure speed and the pure performance of the drivers. Some of them, they have said they have saved a fresh set, a new set of tires. Some of them they have not, and this is why also today we have seen a lot of action, because we had a different tire wear between the drivers. Here we have after the start of the race the 3 wide in between Wurz, Laura Villers and Andrei Petrovic on the inside. Bad luck for Laura, also for Wurz. They had to pack in the back of the field. After the restart, Faisal was at the front, but Omar was in second, but Omar was able to gain his position, and Omar was in P2. And here we have the fight between Wurz, that got first Zanfari and then Hamda Al-Kubaisi with an amazing move on the inside. And here we see the last mistake from Abdulaziz, and the attempt from Federico Arifai with a yellow flag, and then he gave the position back to Faisal, that finally got on the podium. So let's see what the director has to say, but for sure Federico Arifai, when you have seen the yellow flag, then he gave the position back. Everything will be in review from the race control, just in case there is anything that wasn't done correctly. And we also see they are recovering the green car for Abdulaziz right now at the moment at the exit of turn 12-13. Here we have the restart of the race. Very good start from Faisal Al-Kabani in number 7, and Saqer Almaosherji on the inside, and Omar Al-Darayan on the outside, and those 3 were the 3 podium finishers. So the start was definitely important to all 3. This is the unlucky Laura Villers spinning around, and Wurz at the back of the field. And Saqer Almaosherji working hard his way to the lead, and then able to overtake Faisal during the first lap. Here we have also Zanfari overtaking Hamda Al-Kubaisi. And here we have a little mistake for Faisal, and Saqer is able to go on the inside and gain the position with a very nice move on the inside in the first lap in turn number 6. We've seen a move that is it works, and then Saqer was able to pull away and had a very consistent, very fast race. The first lap we have seen that it was really crucial to have a good start. You can see also the reaction time. Let's see who got the best reaction times. I mean, it was quite even, but Faisal just managed to have less wheel spin compared to Laura Villers, and he got the lead of the race as early as he could, with Saqer Almaosherji behind. And from the drone we see the unfortunate 3 wide. You know, it's a circuit that has a lot of space, but when you go 3 wide, you never know if you can get out of the corner in one piece. This is the reality of motorsport, also because normally who's in the middle knows that you are 3 wide, but the other two sometimes they don't. So sometimes it's hard to give each other enough space when you are 3 wide, just because the guy further out or further in just is not aware of being in that specific situation. While for Oscar, trying to be in his shoes, I bet he was just there trying to make sure he was able to go through, and he couldn't quite do it. And the contact with him in Laura Vira just ruined Oscar's race and took out Laura for this race 3. As you can see, we have an amazing view. It's a really big and modern facility here. It's only 3-4 years old. We have many different configurations, opportunity. Some of the best corners in the world have been taken as a benchmark. So they tried and make a reproduction of existing very nice corners. For example, the one we see, the long right-hander from the top, is the same as Istanbul turn 8, but turning on the opposite direction, while we have turn 3 and 4 is a copy of the corkscrew Laguna Seca, but also there turning on the other side, while there is also the inner corner of on the left hand side of your screen that goes into the shorter version of the circuit. You cannot quite see it, but it's banked corner, so it looks like the carousel in Nürburgring. So is also that configuration an interesting one. We decided for the longest configuration that is also quite fast, and it's the most technical, so we have decided to go for that one and stick with it with both race weekends. And but definitely all the other configuration were also really interesting, really cool, and raceable in all condition, also with the Formula 4 cars. The elevation changes we have on this circuit, they are quite impressive. Here it goes downhill from the top of where you see the Onshi Bridge down to this corner, which is the apex of turn 5. There is quite a lot of elevation change going down the hill, so this is definitely also changing the balance of the car. Here also we have 2 changes of elevation from 7, which is further down the screen, up to 12. You have a sequence of corner, which is a snake similar to what you find in Suzuka, but it's all flat out with a Formula 4 car. Also in this area you can see the elevation changes that this circuit offers. But believe me, when you are in the car, and I did quite a bit of mileage last week, it's much more evident than what we see on screen. It's really exciting. There are some corners that sitting very low in the car, they are kind of blind, so at the beginning it takes a long time to understand where are your references and where to turn, where to brake, and how you can take the advantage of the compressions and the cambers of each individual corner. So it's one of those circuits that it doesn't take just 2, 3, 5 laps to learn, but it takes a lot more time. We have seen drivers that still, after a couple of weekends, they are still trying slightly different technique in some of the corners, because it's one of those circuit that is also you also have to evolve your driving style depending on the grip, depending on the tire you have, depending on the position you are. If you have a car behind, so you don't want to be, for example, too wide in turn 6, because otherwise you can open the door and just stay a little tighter. And there are corners where if you are behind, actually you have to try and find some clean air in a corner while you want to be following closely in the straight line. So we are now ready for the podiums for top 3 finishers and top 3 rookies with Aaron Thompson.
Okay, thank you very much for being so patient with us, ladies and gentlemen. So without any further ado, let's get into the podium celebration for race 3 here at event 2 of the Formula 4 Arabia Championship. Without any further ado, I'd like to call, please, place of the overall category, Faisal Al-Qabbani! And in second place, Malden! And in first place, atop the top step, we have Saqer Almaosherji! And now for the first place trophy presentation, please. And now for the second place trophy presentation, please. And now the third place trophy presentation. And now for the rookie podium, please. And now for the rookie podium in third position, we have Andrei Petrovich! And in second position, we have Omar Darayan! And in first position, we have Saqer Almaosherji! Now for the first place trophy presentation. And for the second place trophy presentation. And of course the third place trophy presentation. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much, everybody. Celebration.
So that was the podium of today, race 3, and now we still have one more race before the end of this weekend. So race 4 based on the fastest fourth lap of the qualifying. So it's gonna be a very exciting race, the final race of the weekend. Let's wait for the next one to see who will be in the top of the standing of the championship after this Kuwait race event for Formula 4 Saudi Arabia Championship certified by FIA. Thank you very much.
Hello and welcome back to Kuwait Motor Town here for race 4 in the Motor Town Gulf Prix, of course, with the Formula 4 Arabia cars on track once again. And as always, you have myself, Aaron Thompson, and Luca Felipe commentating.
Hello everybody, ready again for another race.
So we had a very, very interesting race 3 just a few hours ago, Luca. We saw finally the Kuwaiti in the light blue number 5 car, Saqer Almaosherji, don his podium cap and get on top of the top step of the podium. Do you think we're going to see a repeat of that? Because the Kuwaiti is back in P9 for this race by virtue of his 4th fastest lap from qualifying, or is Solomon Zanfari and Andrei Petrovic at the front of the grid going to dominate this race?
So, it's really difficult to say because we have many drivers that have the real potential and the opportunity to score a podium finish or win the race. So, I think it's not going to be easy for Saqer, but after such a strong weekend and a really, I would say, like a dominating win, he could have a shot again, but he has to fight for it.
Yes, indeed. And let's go down to the pre-grid now for Machala Bilgesi's pre-grid interviews.
Here we are back on the grid, this time for the last race of this weekend. With this race, we are going to start with the quickest lap time the driver have made during qualifying. Still, try to get some words from the driver that are starting here in the last position on the grid. We are talking with Jabbar. Hello, Jabbar. How are you? Ready to go for the last dance? Okay, so again, getting better and better little by little. Every race is a little bit faster. What about this one? I mean, all the people in this part of the grid are starting with used tires, so you are with the same strategy. You think you can gain some position?
Hopefully, but since I'm starting last, I'm probably the calmest person currently. I think that's the most advantageous thing about my own position now.
Okay, good luck, Jabbar, for your race. So let's get some words also from Guancho Brabio, Filipino driver, a lot of experience with a small touring car. Now you want to step up and go with the Formula 4 Saudi Arabia. Hello, Guancho. How does it feel? I mean, last race here, 2 weeks of hard racing, and now you're going again on track for the most important race of the weekend.
I guess it's hard fun. Yeah.
Okay, Guancho, really good luck for your race and enjoyed it. Okay, just some more words from other driver. We are going to talk with Laura Villars, one of the girls of this championship. She joined the championship for the first race here in Kuwait. We have done already 2 weekends. This is the second weekend for you. Well, you show really a strong pace through the second part of this race of these 2 weekends. So what's your goal for this last race of Kuwait?
Last race to do my best and still improving and not getting pushed this time from anyone, and it's gonna be a funny race.
Okay, good luck, Laura, really good job. So let's have some more from Abdullah Al-Kubaizi. Abdullah, hello, how are you? How is the last race of this circuit? What are your expectations?
Position or maybe make an extra one, but my end goal is just to get into the points.
Okay.
Yeah.
So really solid achievement so far. You already scored points. Good luck for the last one. So let's get some more words from other drivers on the grid. We are going on to get some information from Saqer Almaosherji. Saqer is local here. He just won the 3rd race today and is going for the last race here in his hometown. Hello, Saqer.
Hi.
So you're starting with used tires this time. The people in front of you will have a better tire. You still trying to go for another podium?
I mean, a podium is difficult, but I'll try to stay as close as possible. Maybe they get penalties or something like that. and yeah, that's.
Good luck, Saqer. You've done a really good job today, so keep enjoying your home track. So let's go on to get some word from Faisal Al-Kabani from Saudi Arabia. Faisal has got one podium today. So this time with used tires. Faisal, what about your expectation from this race?
It's going to be some nice fighting, I think. All the quick guys are up ahead. Everybody wants to go for the win, so I expect some tough battles and maybe some safety cars.
Thank you, Faisal. Good luck. So it's really all from my side. You can go ahead and enjoy the race.
Thank you very, very much, Marcello. That's the last time we'll hear from Marcello from this weekend, unfortunately, but he'll be back very soon for the Qatar Gulf Prix in just under a month's time. That's the 14th, 15th, and 16th of March down at the Lusail International Circuit in Qatar. Moment, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be getting away in fact in exactly 1 moment at 11:52. The pit lane will open and the cars will proceed on track for their sighting lap. They will go around the circuit one time and stop in their grid boxes. After they've stopped in their grid boxes for a period of 5-10 seconds, you will see the green lights go on, and as they go out, the cars will go around the track one more time for the formation lap. At the end of the formation lap, all cars will stop in their grid boxes for the last time of this weekend, and as all 5 lights go on and then extinguish, you will see us go underway for race 4 here at the Motor Town Gulf Prix. And in just a moment, Salman Zanfari in the orange number 52 car will take us away for the start of the race. We saw in race 3 Salman struggling a bit on some very used tires, and it seems like, to me at least, like those look in a bit better condition. Luca, what do you think?
Yeah, sure. Top 5 drivers, they have very fresh tires. Actually, the tires from Petrovic are basically brand new, and but you know, all of them, they have very good tires. So I expect a fierce fight between turn 1, 1A, 1B, between those guys that you know, they are basically saving those tires for the last race. So it means that also you are putting a lot of effort to make sure that for this race you have everything you can in order to have an opportunity to win and bring home as many points as you can. So when you do that, then it means the pressure and the tension is a little bit on your shoulders, and it is rising up between these guys, and let's see what they will deliver.
Let's see, indeed, because this is the last chance they have to impress us this weekend before we move on to the Qatar Gulf Prix in just under a month's time. Coming down on track now, you can see the silver bullet of the silver number 7 car. Fantastic race from him last time around to hold on to 3rd spot ahead of Federico Al-Rafai. And I think I heard you mention that Andrej Petrovic is going to be on new tires, so he's going to have a very interesting race as well. But let's have a quick look around the circuit for one last time this weekend.
Yeah, he's a real nice circuit, really amazing. So after the start, we have to try and stay outside if you want to be in the inside for 1B, which is the chicane before this very, very long straight. Take the slipstream, attack in turn 2, then 3, 4 down the hill. And watch out, don't open the line too much in 6, because you may give somebody a try into the corner. Then in this very fast and long section where you have to carry a lot of speed, 19 flat out or almost flat out, and then hard braking into the last corner, down the hill, and then into the finish line.
Thank you very much, Luca. Another brilliant lap around of Kuwait Motor Town there. We can see, of course, the drivers just catching up to you coming down the back straight now. And let's have a quick run through the starting grid before they take position on the grid itself. In first position, on pole position, we have Salman Zanfari in the orange number 52 car driving for Morocco. Alongside him Andrei Petrovic. We know Andrei is on basically new tyres, so it'll be very interesting to see what happens here between the two drivers in the top two spots. Kirill Kutskov and Oscar Woods are on the second row of the grid, and they are followed by Federico Al Rafai and Hamda Al Khabaisi. Omar Al Darain and Faisal Al Kubaini, the Saudi drivers, take up positions 7 and 8, while Saqer Almaosherji and Laura Villas round out the top 10. P11 is Abdullah Al Khabaisi, and P12 Abdulaziz Abu Zanada, while John Shobrobio and Jabbar Al Thani round out our grid. And unfortunately, Hamda Al Khabaisi can't be here today because she's in Las Vegas for the F1 Academy, but she'll be back for Qatar, ladies and gentlemen, and it'll be fantastic to see her back on the grid as soon as possible. As you can see, though, all the cars taking position here for the end of the sighting lap, and in just a moment the green lights will flash at the front of the grid, and when that happens, we'll have one more lap around the track, one last opportunity to get every degree of temperature you can into your tires to warm yourself up and prepare yourself for the start of the race. There you go, green lights are on and the cars are away. Down they go the main straight now, everybody weaving already, trying to get that longitudinal force, that latitudinal force I should say, into their tires to warm up the exterior of the tire. Luca Felipe, of course, coached me on exactly what to say here this weekend. Luca, last opportunity to get a good start off the line here. Is there anything they need to be doing differently? It is a little bit later in the day, 2 o'clock is going to be the start. Do they need to consider cooler temperatures or warmer temperatures or anything like that?
So they have to think about the procedure, because these cars, they have 3 pedals, like a regular car with a manual gearbox. Of course, the gearbox is the sequential paddle shift, so you use the clutch only to start or to stop when you stop in the garage, or if you spin, you have to engage the clutch to keep the engine on. So what happens is that everybody uses the left foot to brake. So once the start is done, then you move your left foot onto the braking. So basically, the feel with the clutch, it is something that you only needed for a proper launch, for a proper start. And but that is crucial, because that can really make a difference from a good race and a bad race. So what we teach them to the guys to have a good launch is that you stay when the third light or in sequence go on, then you go flat out with the throttle, and then with the clutch you start to feel where is the biting point. So this means that you start lifting the clutch a little bit until you feel the car is sort of trying to move. Then from then on you just wait with the clutch engaged at that level until it goes green. Not greens, but light off, so it means you start the race. In that phase, you have two ways to release the clutch. One way, it's quite quick, so not instant, but within 3-4 tenths of a second. So you try and make a little bit of wind spin, but not too much, and then you release the clutch fully, and then you should try and stay flat out. You'd have to have a very little wind spin in order not to risk stalling the car, which means just revs, RPM goes too down and the engine is off. You don't want to do that, of course, but on the other hand, you don't want to release the clutch too slowly, because this it might affect more than anything your reaction time. So you have to be reactive, very quick, and that will give you an advantage in the first few meters. And that's it, really. Having a good start is crucial for these guys. They know it. So every time they go and they are behind the lights, the heart is pumping up hard, because you know that you have to do it right.
Yes, indeed. As we come down the back straight now, we can see all the cars coming around turn 20 on screen there, ladies and gentlemen. Omar Alderan in the yellow number 18 car. Fantastic race from him. Last outing to hold on to second position and score a lot of points there for Saudi Arabia, alongside his comrade Faisal Al-Gabani in the number 7, the Silver Bullet, who secured third position as well. All the cars now joining us on the starting grid for the start of the final race here this weekend, and in just a moment we will be underway. As you can see, it seems as if everybody is just pulling up into their final positions now at the back of the grid, and in a moment you'll see the lights go on. Once we have all 5 lights on and they extinguish, we will be underway, so bear with us for just a few more seconds before the start of the race. 2, 3, 4, 5 lights are on, and as they go out, we are underway. Looks like maybe a bit of a jump start there from the green car at the back of the grid, but a fantastic start from the red number 49 of Andrei Petrovic, who's launched himself up into the top spot and secured it before they even reached the first corner, as it looks like we're going too wide with Omar Alduran, and perhaps that is the purple number 8 of Amda Al-Kabaisi and the silver number 7 of Faisal Al-Kabani. As we come down now the second straight into turn 2, you can see Andrei Petrovic trying to break the toe. That's 2 moves there from Petrovic as he goes back and forth trying to shake off the orange number 52 of Solomon Zanfari. Down into turn 2 we come with Omar Al-Orid Al-Durrani looking for a move on the inside, deciding against his Kirill, I believe that's Kirill Kutskov, tries to make a move as well, but he's just not quite close enough to the white number 11, number 10 of Federico Al-Rafai. He's sandwiched in between 2 white cars. There is the number 23 of Kirill Kutskov. In front of him he's got Federico Al-Rafai, and behind him the Austrian of Oscar Wurtz's number 11 car.
What a start from Oscar Wurtz. Oscar Wurtz really made a very good start, but these 5 guys at front, they all have fresh tires, new tires, and especially Petrovic had a fantastic launch in the very first 10 meters. He was able to go alongside Zanfari and make it stick on the inside. So really good stuff for him, that he has basically brand new tires.
Basically brand new tires, and that's what he used to catapult himself up into first position. But Solomon Zanfari is an experienced hand in these cars and is not going to let him get away with that easily at all. We've seen already that he's fighting his way back, looking for position at turn 2 earlier in the lap and holding on as close as he can here and in the first lap of the race. But it does seem as if Federico Al-Rafai is closing in on the orange number 52 of Solomon Zanfari and may try to make a move on this lap or the next lap. As we come down into the final corner of the first lap of the final race, we can see Hamda Al-Kabaisi got an excellent exit through turn 20, and she may be able to make a move on the silver bullet of Faisal Al-Kabani coming down the main straight. Now you can see everybody starting to section over into turn 1. They come down into turn 1 through turn 1A and 1B. Hamda tucking in behind the silver number 7 of Faisal Al-Kabani. Coming on the exit now of turn 1B, we can see the procession moving down the second straight into turn 2. This the next overtaking opportunity, a hard braking left-hander up the hill into the crest, down into the carousel of 3, 4 and 5. A very interesting section of track, and Hamda Al-Kabaisi having a look on the outside here at turn 2, but not quite close enough. She may be able to get a better exit though and switch back onto the inside at turns 3, 4 and 5. That would put her on the outside of turn 4 if she makes that maneuver. Not quite close enough, but she's going to switch again and have a look up the inside of turn 6, and just behind her in the light blue number 5 is Saqer Almaosherji, who's going to try and take advantage of this and go around the outside at turn 6. That's a move we haven't seen yet, outside of turn 6. Looks like you can do it anyway at turn 6 that you feel like.
Yeah, so it's right, but he had to back off, and now Amdash is really close to Faisal. Faisal, we have seen him struggling a little bit with the grip, both in turn 20 and also in turn 2, but it was good so far at defending, but now they are losing a little bit of time compared to the group ahead. Pushing really hard, the first 5 guys, we see some purple sectors coming up here and there, and all together they come in a group. It's so nice to see them battling closely. It means that really the level of these guys is really equal.
Coming down the back straight now, you can see the red number 49 of Andrei Petrovic leading the way ahead of the orange number 52 of Solomon Zanfari, and just behind them the number 10, the white car of Federico Al-Rafai. It looks to my eye at least that Federico Al-Rafai is closing in on the orange number 52 of Solomon Zanfari as they come across the start-finish line. The difference between the two cars, 0.6 of a second. Just behind them as well is Kirill Kutskov, only 0.495 a second, and in fact the fastest man on track at the moment with the 2:03.225. Kirill finding his time in sectors 1, 2 and 3, where he sets a personal best, a 34.208, a 43.811 and a 45.206. Fantastic lap there from Kirill Kutskov as he comes around and challenges, of course, Federico Alvarado for that third position. You can see how closely matched all the cars are as they come down the second straight now into turn 2. Nobody close enough to make even a look at an overtaking procedure to come up over the hill, down into 3, 4, and 5. Anybody trying to make a move here would have to be a lot closer than 0.4 of a second away to make it stick as we come around the sliding left-hander of turn 6. Luca Philippe, where can Soliman Zanfari try to make a move on the man in front of him, Andrei Petrovic, because he's 0.6 of a second behind, and where can he find his time and catch up to him?
Well, they are all 5, all 4, or 6 even, in a very similar pace, and when the gap between the drivers is so close, it's really difficult to make a move. You have to maximize potentially a mistake from the guy in front, try and stay close to him and induce the guy in front, induce him to a little mistake, and then maybe try, because until you don't have a drop of the tire, it's really difficult, especially the top 4, they're so close. Oscar, it looks like he made a slight mistake in the first sector, the opening sector of this lap, because he lost a little bit of contact, but then for the rest of the lap it was okay, he was quite fast, so let's see, maybe just sometimes a little bit of a curb or a wheel spin or gear change. So he's still in the slipstream, so he can still get close to them, but the lap time are very consistent all together within a few tenths of a second.
At 202.950 for Petrovic, at 203.23, 203.165, at 203.222, 203.452. Everybody in the top 5 is within a couple of tenths of a second away from each other as they come down now with the number 99 of Abdulaziz Abu Zanada and the number 9 of Abdullah Kabesi making moves down into turn 1 and 1A and 1B as the orange number 9 of Abdullah Al-Kabesi seals the door on the green number 99 of Abdulaziz Abu Zanada, and at the same time another Kabesi is making moves on track. This is Amr Al-Kabesi in the purple number 8 car, gaining 1 position on the silver bullet, the number 7 of Faisal Al-Kabani here at turn 2. Coming up over the crest and down into turns 3, 4, and 5. This carousel section of the track as they come back into the sweeping left-hander of turn 6. It looks like Hamda Al-Kabesi has sealed that position, and behind her now Saqer Almaosherji is going to start challenging the silver bullet for the 8th place position that he now maintains. Coming into the flat out section of the track now. This is turns 8, 9, 10, and 11. All the way with your foot through down to the end of the floor at full throttle, all the way down into turns 12, 13, 14, and 15, the right-handed section of the track. Where's the braking point here for turn 12, Luca?
So for turn 12, you don't really brake when you arrive under, there is a bridge. When you arrive under the bridge, you have a lift, and you have a partial lift that you go from 100% of throttle down to 50%, hold from the entry to the apex, and when you are at the apex of 12, you can go back flat out. And then you do 13 flat out, and when you are at the apex of 14, you have a very slight touch on the brake, down to 5th, and then back on power for turn 15.
Is Andre managed to carve out a little bit of a lead for himself? Perhaps not. He was about 9/10 of a second in the last lap, and a little bit less now, 0.89 of a second this time around. It seems like Solomon is hanging in there, although Federico Al-Rafai all over the back of the orange car. The last time around he was 0.6 of a second behind him. Now he's 0.49 of a second behind him, finding his time seemingly in the second sector where he was about 1/10 of a second faster than the orange number 52. Coming down the second straight now, it seems like Federico is getting closer and closer, but he is just not quite close enough to make a move on the Moroccan driver, not at least at this opportunity as they come up over the crest of the hill and down into turns 3, 4, and 5. This is a fantastic section of the track we've seen again and again and again. As for Andrei Petrovic now leading us around in the red number 49 car. Andrei having driven a fantastic race so far, got an excellent launch at the beginning at the starting lights, and he's just led from there, trying to build a bit of a lead for himself at the moment. As we said, a 0.885 gap from him to Solomon Zanfari, but Solomon is very fast indeed. His last lap of 203.093, Andrei's last lap of 203.113, so they're within 0.02 of a second of each other, and they are pushing hard indeed, as we see morning from race control for car number 99. That's the green car of Abdulaziz Abu Zanada for track limits multiple times this morning. He's come out now is the message, so he's not got a lot of opportunity left, and he's fighting at the moment for position with Abdullah Al-Khabaisi in the orange number 9 car, so he's got to watch out for that as well.
Well, I mean, this is a very intense race, and so far clean race, a bit similar to what we have seen in the opening of the weekend, but the difference is that the drivers' position are a bit reshuffled, so it's good to see that we have different drivers that are able to stay within the top position, and having those 6 guys, they are literally within 0.2 of a second, all 6, and this means really they are pushing each other as hard as possible. You cannot do any mistake, because now they are so close that a single mistake you can drop 1-2 positions easily.
Yes, we've seen it before where somebody was challenging for a position and the guy behind him took over 2 cars in front of him and really leapfrogged his way up the order. And it does look like, however, that Federico Al-Rafai in that white number 10 car is getting closer. He's decreased the gap to 0.462 of a second, which is only a gain of maybe a couple of hundredths of a second here. But the closer you get, of course, the easier it is to make an overtake, and 0.4 seconds, that's about the kind of margin you're looking at where you can start to see an opportunity come to life.
Yeah, the other thing they also have to be aware of is the track limits, because when you have potentially a green race like this, you might have to watch out.
And watch out indeed is the word at the moment, as the green number 99 of Abdulaziz Abu Zanada is under fire from the red number 77 of Juan Cho. Robio coming down the carousel now. Juan Cho looks like he's going to switch back and have a look up the inside at turn 6. Can he make a move stick? No, he can't. He doesn't have enough momentum to get through, and it looks like Jabir Al-Thani is putting his hat in the ring as well for that position as we come around turns 17 and 18 now into the final section of the track.
Yeah, so regarding the lead group, we now have Federico Al-Rafai really close to Zanfari, and while Petrovic is really pushing hard at the moment. While in this other group, we also have a fierce fight with both Wancho and Jabor as well, trying to gain a position over Abdulaziz Abu Zanada.
Coming down the main straight now, you can see the red number 45 the Serbian driver Andrej Petrovic leading us here with 4 laps left to go. All he has to do is hold on for 4 more laps, but Solomon Zanfari is the man under fire at the moment. That orange car on the right hand side of your screens, ladies and gentlemen, is being clouded by the number 10 car, the Federico Al-Rafai driven white vehicle just in the middle of your screens at the moment. Is he going to be close enough on this lap to have a look up the inside at turn 2? The gap as they cross the start finish line, 0.432 of a second. The lap time difference less than that, I believe, only 0.03 of a second, with Zanfari doing a 2:03, not 6:33, and the driver behind him only 300 seconds slower. But was that Zanfari oversteer?
Yeah, Federico, just when he went on the curb, literally he had the rotation of the car that you can really even hear the screaming of the tire, but he nailed it. Like he didn't have to correct much. It was just like a rotation of the curb when there is the compression. But I mean, it's one of those things that when you are a driver and you are focused, it's like a dance. But looking from the outside, you know that it's not an easy thing to do.
This fight now really starting to advantage Andrej Petrovic, who has gained a 1.472 second lead over the men behind him. So this is, of course, fantastic news for Serbia, and will give him an excellent opportunity to maintain the race lead as the orange and white cars fight for second position. And just behind them,
oh, Zanfari out on the curb,
out wide on the curb there. And is he going to maintain his position, or will he lose momentum? Will Federico Al-Rafai be able to capitalize on this? It looks like Federico is very, very close indeed, coming down the back straight into the ultimate corner of the track. Will he have a look up the inside, decides against it, tucks in behind the orange car, and he's going to have such a fantastic launch off the exit of this corner. Slipstream the whole way down the main straight and maybe make a move into turn 1, seal the deal through turn 1B. Is he going to have a look? Is he going to peek out, or is he going to maintain in that position? Looks like he's going to keep himself tucked in behind the orange car there and try to slipstream all the way down to turn 2. Such a huge advantage this will be for him if he can do this just right. He's going to position himself perfectly for the perfect overtaking opportunity coming down into turn 2, and it seems like that's exactly what he has planned. Tucked in behind the orange car, following him, not allowing him to break the slipstream. There he goes, making his move. He's going to go around the outside of turn 2. Can the orange number 52 push him out just a little bit wide while leaving him space to keep racing? Pushes him out all the way off track there as they go down up over the crest, down into carousel through 3, 4 and 5, and that is a lost opportunity there for the white number 10 car of Federico Al-Rafai.
So now it looks like Zamfari has a little bit of understeer in the corner, so you can see that he's going a little bit wide from the middle to the exit, while Federico is more of a neutral car. You see the rear sliding a little bit, but it seems like a little faster at the moment. So well, now, yeah, we see Zamfari that in the middle of the corner is a little off the line, and it goes over the exit curb.
Big launch.
So we know that these curbs are okay for GT cars, but of course for Formula cars, if you go with the car in the middle of the curb underneath the bottom of it is not ideal, because you have basically two wheels outside, and also Federico does the same thing. Two wheels on the outside of it and two wheels on the curbs, and then you have the monocoque that is bottoming at the bottom.
The monocoque that's bottoming at the bottom, okay.
Yeah.
As we come down the back straight now, let's have a look into turn 20 with car number 11. That's Oscar Woods driving for Australia. Oscar, not the best weekend once again. I mean, he has the car under him, he has the pace, he's showing time and time again, but he just gets really unlucky with some of these little scraps, and that may have frustrated him this weekend, but not to worry, he's back on track, pushing as hard as he can. Top 5 finish if things stay as they are, and I'm sure he's not intending to let Kirill Kutskov get away with 4th place easily at all.
Yeah, 2 laps to go, so if you wanna do it, you have to do it now, because otherwise the last lap, then if you are in front, then you will defend in any ways you have.
Coming down now through the carousel, turns 3, 4 and 5. You can see on track the positions remain the same, with Andrei Petrovic leading us around, and Salman Zanfari and Federico Al-Rafai still battling it out for 2nd position, while Kirill Kutskov and Oscar Wirtz fight themselves for 4th and 5th. Coming around turn 7 now, and then into the flat out snaking section of turns 8, 9, 10 and 11. We can see that Andrei Petrovic has lengthened his lead to 2.186 seconds his last lap at 2:03.952, while Solomon Zanfari just behind him did a 2:04.141. Interesting low is Federico Al-Rafai did 0.2 of a second better than that, better than Solomon, at 2:04.377. So Federico all over the back of that orange car, despite both of them going out on various laps and having various excursions over these curbs. They are continuing to fight, and we'll see that at any moment as they come down the back straight. Now there may be an overtaking opportunity here at turn 20. As Luca has said, 2 laps left to go, so come on Freddy, if you're going to do it, it's the time to do it.
It's very close. In the meantime, Petrovic, he has done, wow, a fantastic race so far. 1 lap to go. Really perfect driving for him so far.
This is really exactly what he wanted his weekend to end up with as well. He had a a tough start to the season last weekend, but he's put it all together and improved and improved and improved every single race. I think he's actually been on every single podium with his consistency, and now he's up there on the top step, and I think this is going to make things very, very, very interesting for the championship standings. Indeed, as we come down the second straight now, you can see the orange car of Sulaiman Zanfari in second position. Just behind him, the number 10 car, Federico Al Rafai. Ladies and gentlemen, these two, the championship leaders in the championship order, and they may just make things very interesting indeed for us, as Federico Al Rafai is going to have another look very soon indeed as they come around down the carousel. 3, 4 and 5. Sweeping left-hander of turn 6 is next up. It's a very, very difficult place to overtake. Federico Al Rafai having a bit of a look, a slightly different line there from the orange car in front of him as he comes around and tries to position himself for an overtake, perhaps on the exit of turn 7 as they come down into the flat out snaking section of turns 8, 9, 10 and 11. The next overtaking opportunity perhaps turns 18 and 19, or even turn 20, because this is such a fantastic section of the track, but it is almost flat out, so it's very, very difficult to make a move stick. You can see, however, Federico Al Rafai is not listening to me, because what do I know, but the white car, the number 10 car, Federico Al Rafai, all over the back of the orange number 52. This is for the championship lead, ladies and gentlemen. If Federico can get in front of that orange car, he's going to have a very, very, very good weekend indeed. And you can see Andrej Petrovic, as well as the leader of the race, continuing to go and build his lead at the front of the gap at the moment at 2.125 seconds. He's secure, but now penultimate corner of the race, we're coming down the back straight. Can Sulaiman Zanfari defend his position, or will Federico Al Rafai, the Italian driving with the UAE license, manage to make a move in through turn 20? At the moment on screen we see the red number 549 of Andrej Petrovic, the Serbian driver, taking the race lead, and as we cross the start-finish line, it is Sulaiman Zanfari in second position and Federico Al Rafai in third position, ahead of Kirill Kutskov and Oscar Woods, rounding out the top 5. Sixth overall is Omar Al-Durrani, and just behind him the purple number 8 of Amda Al-Kabaisi, followed closely by Saqer Almaosherji.
Fantastic race by Petrovic. Really, before the race he was asking his engineer, how can I be first in the championship when we go away from here? And he said, yeah, just win the race and then let's see. And he did it. And he really wanted to win the race. He was really motivated. He said that, yeah, he had few podiums, but now he wanted to have a top step of a podium. And wow, what a race. He was really motivated and he executed perfectly.
Well, talking about podiums, I think that's my cue to head down to the podium, Lucas, so I hope to take care of the ladies and gentlemen. And for me, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you again very soon.
Thank you, Aaron. So really looking forward to see these guys on the podiums for the last time this weekend, and for the last time in Kuwait for a while, let's say. Hopefully we'll come back here soon. It's the second weekend in a row that we've been racing here in Kuwait. Kuwait has been great to us. We have had amazing racing, amazing battles, and many different drivers on the podiums. And also this weekend we had a few different winners, because we had Saqer Almaosherji in race 3, we had Petrovic just now, we had Zanfari in race 1, and Federico Al Rafai in race 2. So 4 different winners in 4 races. That is an explanation on the level of the championship, how much is leveled between these guys, also because they get equal cars, equal setups, just have a small adjustability of a balance that you can deal with your engineer in order just to make sure that the driver can feel he can suit the setup of the car within his driving style, but mostly of the setup is same for everybody. So with the equal cars, then these guys can just think about the racing, can improve themselves, and can enjoy moments like this, moments where you deliver and do your best. And one of those moments that in motorsport you will remember for the rest of your life is his first win in single-seaters, first win in motor racing after karting. but this guy is a karting world champion from Rotax senior category, which is, you know, most competitive category in the Rotax championship. And yeah, I mean, must be really pleasing finishing a weekend like this. It came last week when he arrived. Andre, he had basically zero experience in single-seaters. With his engineer, they were able to develop such a relationship within 2 weeks. So must be also one of those things that that make these moments even more sweet. So he has friends and family with him. And then again, 4 different winners in 4 races. He has been congratulated by Peter Thompson. Now he's with Luke Thompson. Thompson family, they are the promoter of this Formula 4 Saudi Arabia Championship certified by FIA, and with their long family history in motorsport, back in the 80s with Formula Opel Lotus, then Formula 3 and many other different formulas, then in GP2 Asia with myself, vice champions, and then back in Far East Asia with the Formula BMW Championship, Formula Renault 3.5, and then Formula 4 Southeast Asia, and finally in Middle East for the very first motor racing championship ever from Saudi Arabia. And we will race all around the area. We started in Bahrain with the trophy event, then 2 times here in Kuwait for the first round of the championship. We will be in Qatar for the 3rd round, and then Jeddah, Saudi Arabia for the last 2 rounds of the first season, of the opening season of this championship. Several different drivers on the podiums, 4 different winners, but same cars, same chassis, same engine, same tires, same setup, and same opportunities, same amount of sets of tires. And this is giving all the drivers the opportunity to shine. And it has been a couple of weeks where we were able to discover all the talents from these guys, and we want to hear what these 3 podium finishers has to say. Marcello.
Turning your body to face.
Guarda un po' verso di me, perfetto. Here we are with the second step on the podium, Suleiman Zanfari. Another good result for you. Well, you think that the moment where you lost the race was at the start?
No, I did a good start, just he was faster. Then the whole race I was pushing like a maniac and I didn't give up. So I mean, I had dirtier. This is why my tires were a bit, I struggled a bit. So, but we work hard the next time and we keep pushing and we never give up.
Really good attitude. But what about the championship? I mean, at the end, still good point for this championship battle, but look like there are many people now that can fight for this championship.
Well, I think this championship is tight. We try to do our maximum, maximize the points and score points in each round.
Thank you very much. Really, really good race. Okay, here we are with Andrej Petrovic. Well, you dressed up with Serbian scarf and flag. So, well, you said it actually last day, I guess, where you said, going always better, I'm going for the win sooner or later, maybe the last one, and there you are.
Yeah, you know, I always want to go for the win. Before I set my expectations, first weekend, first round, 1 podium, second round, 1 win. I think I exceeded them a little bit. I think the pace was really good, and I'm really happy to get my first win.
How did you make the start so good, arriving already ahead at the first corner?
Yeah, in the first race yesterday, my start was not good, and I think I needed a little bit of time to get used to the clutch. But then I really inspected it a lot. I spent like 1 hour looking at the onboard videos, and I found the perfect solution to get a good start. So in the last 3 races, I got a really good start.
So I guess you're not going to share with the other driver the perfect solution for the start.
After the championship ends.
Okay, really, really good job, Andre. Congratulations. And a little bit late with the 3rd position one more time on the podium. Well, Federico Arifai, really solid race again. You were fighting with Suleiman all the race. It looked like you were trying to go on the inside, on the outside, but you never had that momentum to overtake him.
Yeah, it was a tough race. We started P5, had a good start, but after I was chasing down Suleiman the whole race, it was hard to get by. I had 2 opportunities, just wasn't quite enough to get by, and yeah, it was a close race though.
Anyway, still a good podium for your championship, and like I said, even to the other driver, seems like a lot of people can fight for this championship.
Yeah, it's very spread out. Also, thanks to the reverse grids, everyone has an opportunity to do well. So yeah, everyone can fight for it.
Congratulations, Federico. Another really good podium for you.
So we heard from the top 3. And it has been a really tough race, really amazing race. Andrei Petrovic, winner of today, and Suleiman Zamfari in second, only shine of 1.7 seconds away. And on his tail, Federico Arifai in P3 on the podium, Kirill Kutskov 4th position, and Oscar Wurz in 5th position. So all these guys really close, but also Omar Anderayan in 6th was part of this group. All these guys with a very similar rhythm, a very similar pace, so can't wait to see them back in action in Qatar. Position 7 for Abdal Kubaisi, position 8 for Saqer Almaosherji from Kuwait, winner of race 3. Faisal Al-Kabani on the podium in race 3 in P9. Abdullah Al-Kubaisi in 10th position after a really nice maneuver over Laura Wheelers and on Wancho Proprio as well. Laura in 11th and Jabor Altani in 12th. Abdulaziz Abuzenada 13 and Wancho Proprio after a spin he finished in the 14th place. So we have seen 2 types of racing this weekend. Race 1 and 4, they were very clean racing, down on pace, where the start positions indicated who wanted to try and make the pace. And since then we have seen a fierce fight, but more on the stopwatch rather than on track. This is what is seen today, and also today in race 4, but also yesterday in race 1. And here we see on the back of the field how they fighting, and Federico Arifai trying to get the position from Suleiman Zamfari. Suleiman Zamfari had a warning over track limits, but he managed to finish in 2nd place. Spin from Wancho, and here you see how close the leading group from P1 to P6 all together with the winner of today, Andrei Petrovic. So I was saying we've seen 2 different types of racing, race 1, race 4, and then race 2 and 3 with a lot of fight, a lot of action, with also different drivers on the podium. And definitely we have seen so many different camera angles from turn 1A and 1B, and we want to see another one because this is where all the action is in the opening lap of the race, because from turn 1 before going to the long straight we go into a chicane, which is 4th gear or 3rd gear for the left hand side, and then 3rd for the right hand side. What a start from Andrei Petrovic. What a start. Fantastic start. He nailed it, and he goes into P1 And then we have Omar Alderayan on the inside, gaining 6th position. And then Petrovic in the opening lap trying to break the toe in order to stay ahead of everybody, and he did. And he did for the whole race with an incredible pace. Suleiman Zanfari in 2nd, and then Federico Arifai up to P3. Kirill Kutskov in P4, Wurz 5th, Alderayan in 6th. And this is how it was in the opening lap, with Zanfari really close to Petrovic, but Petrovic just had to keep his head down. He had new tires. He just needed to bring the tires up on temperature, and then he just went for a win. He just was able to improve and increase the gap 1/10 of a second or 2 per lap, not more, just a little bit. And here you see how good the start in the very first 20 meters. And that start is what gave him the opportunity to clinch this victory. Who knows if he was 2nd in the first corner, if he was still able to somehow bring this win home. He definitely wanted it, and he made it in style with a very good pace. So this is what Formula 4 Saudi Arabia is about. 2 different type of races that we see over the weekend. 2 races that based on qualifying performance, and 2 based on the reverse grid. But you still have to be within the 4 seconds gap in order to qualify for the reverse grid. So this has been phenomenal for the opportunities that these guys have. Also the guys that had opportunity to start ahead for the reverse grid, they were able to benefit from being in the lead group, also for their learning skills, for them to see the lines and the speed that some of the fastest drivers they were applying in different corners. In fact, we have seen some amazing improvements and good results for also the guys that they couldn't fight for podiums, but still they made really big improvements through this double header here in Kuwait. 20 different corners that provides so much action. Actually, it's even more than 20 if we consider that we do the additional chicane, which is the longest layout of this circuit. So it's now time for the podium to Aaron Thompson with the top 3 finishes and the top 3 rookies.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the podium celebration of race 4 here for the Motor Town Gulf Prix. Without any further ado, let's get right into it. And in 3rd place overall, we have Federico Arifai. And in 2nd place overall, we have Suleiman Zanfari. And standing atop the top step of the podium for the first time, we have Andrei Petrovic. And now for the first place trophy presentation by Mr. Isa Hamza, President of the KIAC. And now for the 2nd place trophy presentation by Mr. Peter Thompson. And the 3rd place trophy presentation, please. Can the presenters please now join us for a quick photo opportunity? Thank you very much. And now for the rookie podium presentation. And in third position we have Omar Aldryan. And in second position we have Kutskov. And the top step one final time this weekend, Andrei Petrovich. And now for the first place trophy presentation by Mr. Isa Hamza, the president of the KIAC. And now the second place trophy presentation, please. And now the third place trophy presentation, please. Thank you very, very much, everybody, for joining us once again. And with that, we conclude the podium celebration for this event.
So thank you, Aaron. And so this is the last podium of this event in Kuwait. So thank you, everybody. It's been couple of weeks here in Kuwait. We had round 1 and round 2 of the Formula 4 Saudi Arabia Championship certified by FIA. Thank you everybody involved, from all the mechanics and the engineers from Al Takilat, Meritus GP, everybody involved in the TV broadcasting, Greenlight TV, and everybody. Thanks a lot. See you next round in Qatar. And thanks all the drivers for behaving quite well, I would say, this weekend. For sure better than the last one. And so I'll see you in Qatar for the round 3 of the season, and then we'll be followed up by round 4 and 5 in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Thank you everybody from Luca Filippi. See you next time.